I'm Paul Higgins, and welcome to this edition of Coach's Corner. Tonight, we do have a very special show indeed. The 1991 CIF champions for Division 7. They are the Laguna Hills Hawks, and Coach Steve Bresnahan is joining us, along with Chris Drew and Mike Bohanec. And congratulations, officially. It's been a couple days now since you won it, Coach. I know I tried to reach you on Saturday morning. Your phone was pretty busy. Been pretty busy for you all weekend long?
Well, I think there are a lot of people that want to congratulate the Hawks, and it's appreciated by everybody, and so it's nice to get the calls.
Yeah, and Chris, senior, and obviously something that you probably looked forward to for a long, long time. How do you feel now?
Oh, it feels great. It's like the feeling you get. It's a once-in-a-lifetime feeling, so.
And I'm sure you'll take that with you for a long time. And Mike, what about yourself? Obviously an outstanding football player.
Yeah, it was the way to go over the top, you know. Last game we'll play for the rest of our lives, probably, most of us.
Yeah.
And this is the way to go.
That's so true. You know, a lot of the guys maybe not go on to college football, but what a fitting way, if this is their last high school game, to end it. What did you say to the guys after the game? I mean, you guys are going crazy after the game.
Well, I'm not sure I said anything specifically. I think generally, you know, we all knew how hard we'd worked to get there, and most of the time on the field after the game was spent with the parents as they came down on the field and the other students.
Yeah, and that was one of the cleanest games you could even imagine. 35-28 was the final score with the Trabuco Hills Mustangs, and again, played in front of about 5,000 fans over at Missions District Stadium. How was the field? When I came on the field at the beginning of the game, you said, Paul, this is the kind of field we like. I know the field was pretty torn up, but it actually kind of worked advantage to your running game.
Well, I think that's our home field, and anytime you can play on your home field, you're going to feel much better about the game. And we felt good going in, and obviously we played well enough to win, and that's certainly what having the home field advantage is about.
That's right. Well, we've got a lot of great highlights to show tonight, and you guys stick around because we're going to take a look at those highlights with you and a couple of other players here on Coach's Corner. They are the CIF champions for 1991, the Hawks of Laguna Hills, the first ever in school's history. We'll have more right after this.
There is a mighty spirit shining out.
In Salisbury, Maryland, the hungry are being fed. In Wind Falls, Indiana, a man who learned to read at 47 is making sure others learn earlier. In Hope, New Mexico, people turned an abandoned school into a thriving community center. In Boston, Massachusetts, neighbors set up a crime hotline that's making their streets safer. From Seattle to Galveston, from Buffalo to Fargo, every day, someone in America is doing something to light up another life. But there is so much more to do. The light to do it is within us all. We only need to share it. Contact the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Final score was 35-28, one of the most exciting high school football games I've ever seen, and that's Laguna Hills taking Trabuco Hills in the Division 7 CIF Finals. Tonight they're joining us here in the studio, Coach Steve Bresnahan, Chris Drew, and Mike Bohanec. And first of all, Chris, there wasn't a whole lot of defense in the game because their line was blowing off your line, and your line was blowing off their line. How did that work down there in the trenches?
Personally for me, I think my weight was like just getting me cleared out of there because this guy was a lot heavier than I was. But I mean, our line pretty much all year we've done a really good job. We've had Brew and Greg and everybody else, our backers, just pretty much holding the defense and stopping the other teams. But
hey, at least he's pretty honest about that, right?
Yeah, I think it's on film too, so it's not matter hiding that one.
And Mike, what about yourself? I know you're getting ready for wrestling, and I know that's you were pretty much wrestling down there on the line as well.
Yeah. Well, our defense has been pretty solid throughout the year. This last game, the offense is just incredible. You couldn't hold either offense back. They were just playing for CIF champions.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. I think everyone really enjoyed watching that game, whether there be a lot of defense or not. It was a lot of fun to watch. A lot of points on the board, and that's what's good about high school football. We'll take a look at the highlights of the Division 7 CIF Championship game held at Missions District Stadium. A festive evening there, and what were you guys thinking about as you're coming on the field here, Chris?
I was thinking this is the game of my life, so I mean, this is my chance to just perform. That way I'll look back on it, tell my kids about it, and just like, hey, I played in the CIF Championship.
And now you got something you can show them too. And Mike too, as you see the Mustangs coming on, of course they beat you the first time around, and how important was it to stop them early on?
Well, usually the turning point's at the beginning of the game. So whoever comes up on top and can keep it, then usually is going to come out. But this time it's just whoever's going to score the last time.
Oh, exactly. That's the way you said it perfectly. And you've got Clayton get down to the half-yard line. They'll see it on the replay. And what I really noticed about this game, I think 2 or 3 touchdowns were scored in this manner, Coach. Just the ball being put over the end zone. And, of course, Patrick Barnes, the junior quarterback, runs it in.
Fine football player. Patrick's going to be a great player someday in the NFL, I believe.
Yeah, and you've got a good shot at the Johnson clan. You got Brett, Bob, and the other Johnson there, and, of course, the great football players. And Sergio Jimenez, this is your first series, and boy, you couldn't have started any better, Coach.
Yeah, we had some deception, which normally we don't have much of. Sergio carrying on a reverse, and then a pass here to Sergio into the flat by Justin.
And then this man right here, Dave Weber, ran it 42 times. What's the official, 278 yards?
278 yards, 42 carries. Certainly a school record, and had a lot to do with Dave's efforts and our offensive line getting off the ball.
And we'll talk to Dave a little bit later on, and Justin as well, as you see Dave take it down pretty close to the goal line there, and then you will get a touchdown. Justin Vedder pass to Sergio Jimenez to start the second quarter, and you had some time to think about it. Did that help you, the change of the quarters?
Well, we knew we wanted to change it up some, and we'd been giving the ball to Dave 3 or 4 times previous, and so a fake to Dave allowed Sergio to be open.
Now, you see it on the replay again. Sergio, did he say anything to you guys on the sidelines, Chris or Mike, about holding on to that ball right there?
I think he was just scared.
And this was a great play by your punter. Of course, the snap went over his head.
Over Ryan Miller's head, and great presence of mind to punt it with his left foot, even though he's right-footed, and they don't score. So that's a great job by Ryan.
And then here, Ryan Brubaker comes up with the fumble, so a change of big plays there, and that's how even the game was, Coach.
Yeah, I believe that's true, and you never knew what was going to happen, and that's why the game was as exciting at the end as it was.
And, of course, you've got, I believe Matt Stilson will get the ball here, and Matt had a good game. I think everybody really played their hearts out for you.
Well, I think both sides. It was well played. It was fair. Both teams played exceptionally well.
And then you've got one more pass here. This is what I was talking about. He edges that ball over.
Great effort by Sergio. Nice throw by Justin.
And, of course, we've had Sergio on the coach's corner before, a fine-looking young man. And what's in store for Sergio's future?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what Sergio's thoughts are. I know he can play college football, and we're going to take a look at that in the next couple weeks and see exactly where it lands.
And this was a drive that, with only 33 seconds left in the first half, Patrick Barnes guided his team down the field, and he goes into the end zone there to Jason Tino. A nice touchdown, and you can see it on the replay. Great presence of mind. And Mike and Chris, he's able to thread that needle. How good of a quarterback is Patrick Barnes, do you think, Chris?
To me, he's possibly one of the best quarterbacks I've seen all year. I mean, he's able to get the ball off pretty fast, and that kind of ruins your defense because your defense is supposed to delay his timing. I mean, but when he's that quick, he just dumps it.
What about you, Mike? Was it a clean game for you? Was it a game when you guys were down in the trenches, maybe you weren't really mouthing off to anybody, or they weren't mouthing off to you, or what was it like?
There wasn't much talking between the players. There was a little, but I mean, it was just playing out football game there.
Are you guys friends with anybody over there, or is it the city's too far separated? I mean, did you play football with any of the guys?
No.
No. It's not like a Mission El Toro, I guess, but it's playing the same Pop Warner type football teams. And when that happens, I guess that's kind of neat. But this is the way you wanted it. You're on one side of the city, they're on the other side of the city, and they beat you the first time around, and this time you come around and beat them. What did you say to your players before the game, and during the week?
You know, again, Paul, we didn't have to say much because I think we had played them previously and they won, and our players knew what it was going to take to be CIF champs, they did it themselves. You know, it'd be nice to say the coaches said this and did that. The players did it. They wanted to be a CIF champ, and they did it their way by playing hard in the football field.
That was a great game. And Mike, what will you take away from this game? What will you remember the most?
Victory.
The victory.
And the revenge that we got from winning when we lost to them earlier in the season, and we still... It wasn't that we were a worse team, it's just we had a bad game that...
Yeah, every now and then everybody has a bad game. And Chris, what will you take away from it?
Pretty much the victory that we won. I mean, just how we got even with them for the time that they beat us, and this time we won CIF.
Yeah, that's got to be a great feeling. And, you know, not too many kids can go through high school or through life with a championship. And congratulations to both you young men. Obviously, you played a great football game, and you displayed a lot of great talents throughout the years at Laguna Hills. And best of luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we'll have two more Hawks, Andy Jacobs and Sam Steinberg. We'll have more of Coach's Corner and the 1991 CIF champions right here. We'll be back after this.
When your employees train with the National Guard and Reserve, they learn to be better team players, better decision makers, and better leaders. It's training that makes them better at serving our country. And better when they come back to work for you.
Bill's back.
Be a hero. Give your employees the freedom to protect ours.
It's wild. It's crazy. And it's totally fun. Dimension presents It's Cartoon Time. Watch.
Stay cartoon. All right. It's nice and pointy. Can you see that? Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. Everybody sing along.
Learn to draw and have lots of fun watching. Dimension presents It's Cartoon Time. Every night at 5:30 on Dimension 3.
Tonight on Coach's Corner, we're celebrating Laguna Hills Championship berth in football, their first ever CIF title. And joining me now is Coach Bresnahan, Andy Jacobs, and Sam Steinberg. Sam pardon me, Sam. And again, these guys are the type of guys that make it all happen because they are the offensive guard and the offensive tackle on your team. Without them, would Dave Weber be able to rush for over 200 yards a game?
Well, I think Sam and Andy are a big part of what we did this year on offense. They're the right side of our offensive line, and we try to run to both sides. And certainly against Trabuco Hills, the right side was a big side for us to get some yards.
Now, what was going on there, Andy? Why were the gaps getting so blown open in there?
We were just fired up for the game. We wanted to beat them because they beat us in the season, so we had to come back and get them back.
And Sam, what was the difference between this game and the game in league season with Trabuco Hills?
I think we were a lot more mentally prepared. We wanted revenge, and we wanted to win.
Did they surprise you? Remember the first game they came out and they ran a couple of just plays that you haven't seen before, and then they came out and they did the onside kick. Was it that they just surprised you the first game?
Well, I think after they scored that quick touchdown the first game, we kind of took ourselves out of it mentally.
Yeah.
And we weren't going to let that happen this time.
Now, Coach, in that game, you had to kind of change your game plan. Justin Vedder, normally handing off a lot, became a passing quarterback. You put 21 points on the board. Did you look at the films of that game going into the CIF Championship game?
No, we really didn't. We looked primarily at the films a little more recent of Trabuco Hills, and we knew we were better. It was a transition stage for us as a football team at that point when we played Trabuco Hills the first time, and we felt like we were a much better team. And so we took what we knew we were at the time and tried to improve on that for the last game.
You guys really improved. It was you went on a 6-game winning streak, I believe.
I believe that's right.
Really? Did you feel like you had an easy playoffs? I mean, was it easy for you?
Well, looking back, it was a lot easier than it seemed at the time. We scored a lot of points, but again, I think that was a maturation of our football team. We played good defense, but if you would have told me each time before a game this was going to be easy, it would have been tough to convince me. So I think we just matured as a football team at the right time.
Yeah, obviously, and we'll go to the highlights of this game. At the halftime, it was really close, 14-14. We were back where we started from. You came out after the halftime, and this guy was running with a vengeance. What did you say to him at halftime? Anything?
I didn't say anything to him. In fact, our locker room at halftime was as quiet as I've ever been around, and I think it was just the guys that knew what they had to do. There wasn't much to say. Just go play football the way you're capable.
And to see this in slow motion, you can really appreciate the running of Dave Weber. He's one of those guys that uses all the skills. He uses the stiff arm, he uses the twisting and blocking off people. And what I liked, Andy and Sam, is his second and third efforts. And obviously, he's getting that from somewhere. You guys are throwing second and third blocks on every hit. Was it that way the entire game?
Yeah, that's what our coaches have been trying to make us do the whole season. And I think in that playoffs, we finally figured out what they were talking about.
And that was an interception there by Chad early in the end zone, but we come right back, and Graham will get it. But the Mustangs, they had a punt after this, and the Laguna Hills Hawks, they get it back. And this is one of the plays I'm talking about. He uses a stiff arm right here, and I think we'll see it again on slow motion coming right at you. And this is pretty because not many players know how to do this. He changed hands with the ball at the same time.
Well, Dave's done a great job all year of just getting better each game, and he's in excellent shape, which I think is why the second half is usually his big half, and has had excellent coaching from Coach Ingalls, just like our offensive line with Coach Balding and our receivers with Coach Miltenberger.
Now, Andy and Sam, you run a lot, and you ran a lot that time. I know 42 times alone with Dave. Does that tire you guys out?
No, it's worth it when we get the net gain, and it's an enjoyable game. I love it.
Is it harder to block on the pass, or is it harder to block on the run?
I think we prefer to block on the run, but we can change it up.
A great call right there. You play fake to Weber, and then Justin keeps it, and he goes in for the touchdown. A similar touchdown as we see as he throws the ball over, just like Sergio Jimenez did in the first half.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it, Paul. There were 4 or 5 touchdowns that weren't very far into the end zone, but again, good enough for 6 points.
Now the Mustangs will try to come back here, and it goes out to Barnes, to Bates, and of course you guys were hitting pretty hard down there. I know you guys are the blunt of a lot of hits because of course you guys are kind of set up. Does the defensive guys ever get cheap shots in on you at all?
Yeah, they like to take out the knees and whatever. We just want to go out there and play.
And what was your feeling after the game first, Andy?
I was ecstatic. I couldn't put it to words.
Yeah.
It was a great feeling.
And you've got Patrick Barnes. He gets knocked out of bounds by the guy that goes both ways, Sergio Jimenez. And, of course, we've seen Sergio here on Coach's Corner as well. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Of course, the real fireworks took place in the fourth quarter. What an exciting 12 minutes of football. And looking back now, in the beginning of the year, remember you guys were favored to win the Pacific Coast League. Mm-hmm. As you look back now, was that a lot of pressure for you guys, do you think?
It was a little bit. We came back out and just played the best we could.
Now, when you lost to Trabuco Hills, did that take any of the pressure off for you?
Yeah, I think it not so much took the pressure off, but it motivated us. We wanted to play them again if we had the chance.
Yeah. Now, these two guys, nobody can see them in person because here we are in the studio, but they're big guys. They're very fortunate to have a big offensive front.
Well, they're good football players, and they just happen to also have some height, and they did a good job in the weight room. And I think Andy's 235 pounds, right, Andy? And Sam about 220?
Yeah.
Right in there. So they're not excessively big, but they're strong, and they're good football players.
Would you two, first of all, Andy, would you like to continue your football career?
Yeah, it's a great sport. I love it.
And where would you like to go to college?
Cal State, Fresno, I think.
Cal
State, yeah.
And what about you, Sam?
I'm not sure whether I'm going to play. I never thought about it till this year.
But if you don't ever play another football game again, what a sweet way to leave your career right here in South Orange County with the CIF Championship. 4 years ago, did you ever think it was going to happen?
Well, you always in the back of your mind think it could happen, and just to specifically say this year, no. But I knew we had some good kids that were going to work hard.
And, of course, your principal, Wayne McKellian, did such a great job, a former coach himself, so he understands what you go through.
Wayne is the kind of principal that when you lose, he feels the loss, and when you win, he's ecstatic as anybody.
Yeah, well, obviously, your whole school is going to turn around now, and this is going to be a great opportunity for you to even get bigger and better in the years to come with another
Well, I think in football, but you have to look at Laguna Hills. We've been successful state champions in cross country, our wrestling team, our baseball team, so there's been success there. This isn't the first.
Yeah, it seems like football gets the most notoriety, and this will do good for you. You guys, congratulations. Really enjoyed watching that game, and of course, you're not the glory guys, but when you look in the paper and you see that Dave Weber rushed for almost 300 yards, you got to feel good about that. Congratulations to you. We've been talking a lot about Dave Weber and Justin Vedder, the sophomore quarterback, if you can believe it or not, an outstanding football player at that. They'll be next here on Coach's Corner. We'll be back after this.
What's new? Dimensions in the Community highlights South Orange County people. Dimensions in the Community targets South Orange County places. Dimensions in the Community covers South Orange County events. Join hostess Yvette Welch every day at 6 p.m. for a closer look at the people, places, and events in and around South Orange County. Dimensions in the Community, every night at 6 on Dimension 3.
Have you read the news? Finally, a TV show for and about seniors.
Well, how about that?
It says here it's called Seniors, the Changing Scene.
Really?
On one show, they had a woman who was a pilot during World War II.
Oh?
On another show, they had an expert explaining living trusts. The show is called Seniors, the Changing Scene.
When is it?
Every night at 6:30 on Dimension Channel 3. Oh, look! There's a...
Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach's Corner. Tonight again we have the 1991 CIF champions with us tonight. They are the Laguna Hills Hawks. The sport is football, and joining us now is, along with Steve Bresnahan, is quarterback Justin Vedder, and also the fullback, running back, whatever you want to call you, Dave. You do it well. Dave Weber rushed 42 times for a total of 278 yards. I want to share this stats with you. I guess he led Orange County in rushing 2,053 yards on the year. He averaged 220 yards per playoff game. In 4 playoff games, he got 883 yards and 11 touchdowns, and that's a career for most kids here in Orange County. Dave, first of all, Justin, congratulations. I know you're a senior, and you had your good friend on the sidelines, Marwan Saba, watching you all season long, and I'm sure you guys feel real good about this. And Justin, only a sophomore. Boy, did you ever think in the beginning of the year, I'm going to be a sophomore this year and I'm going to lead this team all the way to a CIF championship?
Well, it's always in the back of your mind, but I mean, we come out and we lose a few games and you're like, well, can we go on? And then you're thinking you want the season over with, and then you're kind of getting into it when playoffs come. And right when playoffs started, we knew we were going to go all the way.
Coach, did you change your routine at all? I was talking to Dana Hills High School, who we'll see on next week's edition of Coach's Corner, and I said, Coach, did you change your practice routine? Because they practice on Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night underneath the lights. And I said, did you change that? And he goes, nope, kept everything the same. How about yourself?
We didn't change anything. I think we had some young players in positions like Justin at quarterback and a freshman free safety, and we wanted to keep the routine as stable as possible. And we did that up until the last week. They tried to convince me that there were no wind sprints, but it didn't work. So we continue to do that. So no, we didn't change.
Well, you ran plenty of wind sprints, I know, Dave Weber. We'll take a look at the highlights, the most exciting fourth quarter. You'll see the entire game tonight on the Game of the Week here on Channel 3. And at the start of the fourth quarter, it was 21-14 Hawks. You saw Marty Spalding, and then Jeff Clayton. He scored a couple touchdowns here in the final fourth quarter of play. This one he squirts in there for the touchdown. And then after that, Dave Weber and Sergio Jimenez combined, and as you see the replay, you got in there pretty easy, Coach. Were you?
Well, we're playing pass,
yeah,
and it's tough against Trabuco to play the pass and the run at the same time. So we guessed a little bit and guessed wrong.
Dave, as every good running back does, they get better with every run. How about yourself? Did you feel that?
Yes, I think it takes a good, well, I have many carries a game. It takes a good 10, 15 carries to feel the defense, and also to feel our own guys and know where they're going to be. And after 10 or 15 carries, I know where I'm going to be also.
That's how close it was, 21-21 with 8:40 left in the contest. And Dave, you scored all the touchdowns in the fourth quarter. You're battling it out. What are you thinking about? You bounce off 2 or 3 guys, and then you continuously keep bouncing off people.
I'm thinking this is it. This is the last game of my high school career, and I just think the offensive line they were playing as hard as I was, and we just all played from our hearts. We wanted to win this one.
Now, this was another good run by Jeff Clayton, the fumble, and then it's recovered by Trabuco Hills, and boy, it was pretty close to being recovered by Laguna Hills there.
Everybody kind of held their breath on that one, but again, Jeff Clayton's a fine running back, and when you're trying to play pass and he gets the football, you need to watch out because he's going to make a big play.
And you'll see the run here as Jeff Clayton cruises in for the touchdown. This tied it at 28-28, and the next person we're going to see, Marty Spalding once again. He's the man on the field, you're the man in the booth.
Well, there are 2 coaches on the field, Marty Spalding and Tim Miltenberger, and 2 in the booth, Bruce Ingles and myself.
And what we're going to see next is after Trabuco Hills scored, with about 4 minutes left, they decided to go for the onside kick. It works against them, and Greg DeFelice comes up with, he's the only Hawk there, and he will come up with it, and you'll see, I believe you'll see a replay of that, and it will show that Greg DeFelice does score it in there. Were you surprised that they tried the onside?
No, I figured that either they would go for 2 points and try to force the issue there, or kick the onside kick, and we had our good hands team in, and Greg tells me he had the ball, and the official tells me the same thing, so we're going to believe that.
And 28-28, 4:34, as we told you about, Dave Weber, and he's the man with the ball in just a second. First down and 10, Justin Vedder, the quarterback. And Dave, you got in there for the touchdown. That's the final touchdown of the game, 35-28. You didn't think they were going to score anymore, and obviously they didn't.
I don't know if I didn't think they weren't going to score anymore.
Dave. You got to tell the truth on that.
Like I said before, I was nervous till the clock hit 0. They're with their explosive offense, they can do anything.
And how fitting of an ending was this? Mike Maceranka making the interception. Of course, Justin, you took over for Mike after he broke his collarbone, and he was excited. And what was really neat is the entire team was excited for Mike.
Well, Mike had a tough year, and it's a fitting way for him to end his senior year and with an interception to win the game.
And Mike's pretty exhausted there in jubilation, and of course, the final ticks off the clock there, and then everybody goes on to the field. What a great way, Dave, to end your career at Laguna Hills High School.
Well, I talked with the seniors, and we wanted to go out with a bang, and I think we did.
You know, I haven't seen a running back come out in the second half. Both Bill and I looked at each other, and in the commercial breaks, we said, this guy is on fire. And with each play, it sure was fun to watch you run. And Justin, handing off to this guy 42 times. First of all, congratulations goes out to you, because you hand the ball off 42 times and you never create a fumble. And people don't know it, but you're exchanging the ball twice. You're getting it from your center, and then you're handing it off to Dave. Obviously, you get a lot of practice at that.
Yeah, Coach makes sure we do 20 to 30 snaps. We go out early to do snaps. When special teams goes, me and Chris Bevins, our center, go out and do 20, 30 snaps, make sure we have it, go through all our plays or which way he's going to go, so I don't make that mistake.
Dave, what's it like having a sophomore quarterback in there? Do you guys respect him and listen to him?
Yes, I think he filled the leadership spot that we needed. He became the leader that we needed, and I don't think it's any different if the senior or sophomore hands you the ball.
That's right. As long as you know what to do with it, obviously you do. Coach, any words of wisdom for Dave Weber and all the seniors?
I don't know. Words of wisdom. It's just a great pleasure to be a part of what they did, they accomplished. We have a great tradition of running backs now at Laguna Hills, and Justin's going to start a great tradition of quarterbacks.
Oh, it's going to be fun watching you guys. And obviously, I think you might want to go to Arizona. If not, maybe we can have you stay in California to watch your career take off. I'm sure it will. Justin, I know I'm going to see a lot more of you in the next couple of years. Congratulations to you and all the players that you brought in. Obviously a great year. What a great year to wrap it up. And tonight on the Game of the Week, it's a very special game. You'll see the entire game with the Mustangs and the Hawks. About 2.5 hours worth of great football. Dave Weber, Justin Vedder in action tonight here on the Game of the Week. For these guys, I'm Paul Higgins saying thank you so much for watching Coach's Corner, and we will see you next time with the Dana Hills Dolphins.
What's new? Dimensions in the Community highlights South Orange County people. Dimensions in the Community targets South Orange County places. Dimensions in the Community covers South Orange County events. Join hostess Yvette Welch every day at 6 p.m. for a closer look at the people, places, and events in and around South Orange County. Dimensions in the Community, every night at 6 on Dimension 3.
They're led by junior quarterback Patrick Barnes. He's guided the Mustangs to a surprising season. For the third time in the school's history, they will be going for a CIF championship. Only a sophomore, quarterback Justin Vedder is turning heads. His incredible poise and leadership has given him the starting role for the Laguna Hills Hawks. Laguna Hills will be going for their first ever CIF title in the sport of football. He's quick and very eager to do his best. Experience is one of his best assets. Running back Jeff Clayton can break a game wide open. He's accustomed to taking over when the team is flat, and now he has the opportunity to lead his team into a CIF championship. Call him the Diesel, call him unstoppable. Senior running back Dave Weber seems to be able to do it all. He will be the clutch man for the Hawks and their entire offense. Once Dave Weber kicks into gear, he's like a machine with endless current. If you don't stop Dave Weber, you don't stop Laguna Hills.
Back there, Jeff Clayton. Throws out here to number 30 this time again. Cordell Graham, he breaks through. Check him out, he's on the 50, he's got a clear line. Cordell Graham might score in the second play of the game. Touchdown, Mustangs. Out to number 7, he might squeeze in. Touchdown, Mustangs. Matt Reckner, the wide receiver, gets in there. One-on-one coverage, and the score is 13-0 Mustangs.
In their first meeting in the second Pacific Coast League game of the season, it really wasn't a contest. Call it creative by head coach Jim Barnett of the Mustangs, as his Trabuco Hills team racked up a total of 34 points in defeating the Hawks 34-21. Why was this game so lopsided, and will it be again? Well, the first question can be answered right now, and that is, the Hawks came out somewhat flat, and the Mustangs, well, they had a definite advantage with their unique anything-goes game plan. Trabuco Hills got out to an early lead and forced the Hawks to play catch-up. They had to resort to the passing game, and that proved, at the time, to be a disadvantage because Laguna Hills is mainly a running team. But sure, Laguna Hills made it interesting early on, as they did manage to score through the air.
2nd down and 8. He drops back to pass. Vedder does over the middle. Sergio Jimenez, check it out. He's gone. Nobody's going to catch him. The Hawks are on the board.
The problem after that was the fact that Trabuco Hills did not have to match the score. They already had the lead, and now all they had to do was pad it. Well, they did, and easier than expected, the Mustangs ran away with a huge Pacific Coast League win. So here they are, as this sets up the final showdown, as Trabuco Hills takes on Laguna Hills for the Division 7 championship title.
Dimension Sports, the leader in local sports programming, in conjunction with AIM Sports Television, presents the Game of the Week.
The week is being brought to you by Lakeview Real Estate, serving all of Orange County, and by New York's Upper Crust Pizza, located in Laguna Niguel, and by Golf USA, America's golf store, located on Greenfield and Crown Valley. They have expert service ready to help you. And by Telecel, an authorized agent of LA Cellular. Pick up your mobile phone today and let Telecel serve you. When we return to the Game of the Week, Paul Higgins and Bill Cunity will have their special insight to the CIF Championship game between the Trabuco Hills Mustangs and the Laguna Hills Hawks. Here on Dimension Sports and the only sports show of its kind, Athletes in Motion.
tasted real New York style pizza? Then come on in to New York's Upper Crust Pizza on Greenfield in Laguna Niguel across from the movie theaters. Upper Crust is authentic New York pizza that uses only fresh ingredients and age-old recipes. Come on in and taste a slice of the East Coast. New York calzone, stromboli, spinach bread, sausage roll, Sicilian and thin crust style pizza that's guaranteed to make your mouth water. That's New York's Upper Crust Pizza across from the theaters, 831-4300. No accent required. Do you love golf? Everything a golfer could need is at Golf USA on Greenfield and Crown Valley. The widest selection of clubs, balls, and bags, with an expert staff to assist you in everything from picking a hat to improving your game. Say you saw this commercial and try out the SwingTech Swing Analyzer. From the touring professional to the novice golfer, everything is in one place. Golf USA, America's golf store. What could you do if you owned a cellular telephone? The people at Telecel would like to make a few suggestions. This is the 90s. Technological advances now allow each of us to have our own personal communication system and the security of being able to call for help from anywhere, anytime. Spending quality time at work doesn't mean sacrificing time for yourself. Authorized agent of LA Cellular, Telecel makes it possible to enjoy all the things you don't have time for. Telecel also services all brands of mobile and cellular phones. Don't deny yourself the freedom that cellular telephones can provide. Your new phone from Telecel will be installed for free when you say you saw it on Athletes in Motion's Game of the Week. Call Telecel now, 1-800-366-2222. That's 1-800-366-2222. Telecel.
Hello everyone and welcome to Dimension Sports in cooperation with Athletes in Motion for tonight's CIF Championship game. Good evening everyone. It's the Trabuco Hills Mustangs taking on the Laguna Hills Hawks, and you saw the preview earlier in the show. And Bill, what a great matchup and what a great game for the community here in South Orange County.
It couldn't be any better than this, Paul. You've got two teams that represent the same school district. They played earlier, and you know in the CIF playoffs and division play now you see rematches, because if these are the two best teams through the brackets, they have a chance to play each other again. I'm sure Laguna Hills looking forward to avenging the defeat. Trabuco Hills in their third final in the last 4 years. That's really amazing, and an opportunity for one of these two teams to be CIF champion. And Paul, there will be no playoff. There's no California tiebreaker in the finals, so we could even have a co-champion.
That's right. We were talking about the Mustangs, of course, led by Patrick Barnes, the junior quarterback, and Laguna Hills led by Justin Vedder. What an awesome quarterback he is, a sophomore. And also, you were talking about the Mustangs. They've won. They've been in the CI finals twice. They've won them both. This is their third time. Does that have a big advantage? I kind of think it does in a sense.
Well, absolutely. I think when you get to the finals, sometimes teams are just happy to be there. And I think I went to a Laguna Hills practice this week and a Trabuco Hills practice, and the theme was the same for both teams, and that is, hey, it's nice to be here, but just being here is not enough. You know, let's lay it on the line and play the way we've been playing. So both teams are prepared. You are right. I think if you've been there before, it does help, perhaps from a coaching staff standpoint. But not too many of these players have been in that position before. Marty Spalding's been there with El Toro. Steve Bresnahan, with his coaching experience, has been in these types of situations. And Jim Barnett and his staff are experienced in CIF final competition. You know, it's neat. The Trabuco Hills parents and fans have been there. This is a first for Laguna Hills. So this is going to be exciting.
It will be. And who would ever thought about 4 years ago that it would be Trabuco Hills hosting Laguna Hills in a final? It will be a great game. When we come back, we will have the opening kickoff of the Division 7 CIF Championship game here on Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion. We'll be back right after this.
Ski and Stuff, your one-stop ski apparel store, located on Alicia and Fabricanti. This ski season will be the best in years, so now's the time to stock up on clothing you'll need when you hit the slopes. Ski and Stuff, your affordable ski wear store. Men's, women's, and kids of all ages can find what they need at reasonable prices. Locally owned and operated, service is our specialty. We also provide ski tuning. Ski and Stuff has all the clothing you need for skiing, so come on in and check out our selection and competitive prices. 455-1553, Ski and Stuff.
Welcome to Missions District Stadium for tonight's matchup. It is the CIF Finals. Trabuco Hills taking on Laguna Hills. Kind of a Pacific Coast League matchup. Of course, the Mustangs you're looking at right there, they won the first battle 34-21. We're going to take a look at the starting lineups right now for the Laguna Hills Hawks on offense. As you see the crowd filing in here to Missions District Stadium on a cool evening. And at quarterback tonight, we've got number 10, the sophomore Justin Vedder. I talked to his dad before the show started tonight, and he's so happy about his son, and we're really pleased that Justin's having a great year. Dave Weber, this is the main guy they're going to have to stop tonight. The Mustangs are going to have to stop Dave Weber if they want to win this game, number 34. Number 20 is Ryan Miller, the wide receiver, and number 23, Chris Baydecker, is the other wide receiver for the Laguna Hills Hawks. They're starting offense. Number 65, Sam Steinberg, the right guard. Jacobs is the right tackle. Ryan Geyer and Sergio Jimenez are the offensive ends tonight. And looking and finishing up the starting lineup for the offense of the Hawks, Ryan Brubaker, Roman Vasquez, and Chris Bevins at the center tonight. And we're going to take a look at some more of the starting players tonight in the CIF Championship game. And it's the Hawks defense. Greg DeFelice is the nose guard. Chris Drew, the defensive tackle, along with Ryan Brubaker and Rayford Kingston. Check Rayford Kingston out tonight, number 63. Moving on, Mike Bochenik is the defensive end. Dan Siska, Roman Vasquez, the linebacker, along with Sergio Jimenez. Two guys going both directions tonight. And rounding out the starting defense for the Laguna Hills Hawks, Adam Roman, the free safety, Fred Kim and Matt Stilson are the corners, and of course, the head coach. The reason why they're here, Steve Bresnahan. Now we're going to switch gears and take a look at your Trabuco Hills starting offense. They are the visitors tonight as you're looking at the Hawks cheerleaders, and then you've got the band down there as well, and getting ready to have the national anthem. And right after we listen to the national anthem, we will take a look at the Trabuco Hills starting offense. And as the players meet at midfield right now, as you're taking a look at some of the people here at the Missions District Stadium for this final game, and we'll go right to it. Jason Tino is the wide receiver. Cordell Graham and Chad Early are the other two wide receivers. Gibson Gomez is the running back, and we'll step aside and listen for the national anthem. And that is the national anthem done by what looks like the Trabuco Hills band as they're having the coin toss at midfield. We'll start again with the Mustangs on their offense. Jeff Clayton, Patrick Barnes is the quarterback. He's only a junior. Brian Blake and David Shank is the center and the guard for the Mustangs. Greg Coford, Rich Mendoza, and Sean O'Farrell make up the tackles and the guard. Chad Early, Dario Saul, Dave Carrero, and Nate Urone, the cornerbacks, and that's the backfield for the starting defense. Nathan Bates, Corey Middle, the linebacker. Jason Galasco is the outside linebacker, along with Audney DiPaolo. And so that is the starting offense and defense. And you've got Tim Bleck, John Pugh, Tim Dilday are the linemen. And the head coach is Jim Barnett. And head coach Jim Barnett is third time to a CIF final in 4 years. He's won 2 of them. So Bill Cunity, what a great game this will be. We've talked about it. We've seen the preview and how these two teams got here and what they did in their first meeting. Who's got the advantage right now? Anybody have the advantage?
You know, I really don't think so. These teams know each other too well for anybody to have an advantage. And you can say that, you know, Trabuco Hills has been here before, but I think the way that Laguna Hills has played throughout the playoffs, they have enough momentum coming in to make this a very even battle. But, you know, Paul, we talked early on tonight about how you get here, what it takes to get to a CIF final game. And I really believe, first, that there has to be somebody to even propose it, to have the belief system. And I think it starts in this case with the two principals, Bill Brand at Trabuco Hills and Wayne McCallion at Laguna Hills. And then it filters down to the athletic directors, Gary Sabella and Dave Brown. And of course, the head football coaches. And these two guys have known each other for years. Steve Bresnahan, who's done such a fabulous job at Laguna Hills in a short period of time. And Jim Barnett, who's, you know, got a great tradition going at Trabuco Hills. So you go to your players and you say, look, if we all agree not to put any limits on what our expectations are, don't think that there's anything we can't achieve, and let's just go out and play as hard as we can play, then getting to the CIF finals is probably the end result of that kind of thought process. And my hat's off to both of them, both schools. What a thrilling way to end the football season.
And the Mustangs will take the ball first as the Hawks are getting ready to kick off. And they'll be led by Patrick Barnes, the junior. He's racked up some pretty good numbers this year. He's passed 315 times, completed 164 of them for 2,714 yards and 18 touchdowns. And he's got some deadly wide receivers out there that he'll be looking at tonight. Matt Reckner, Cordell Graham, and Jason Tino. Remember, Cordell Graham had a really good game his first time around against the Hawks, and of course that was over at the new stadium in Trabuco Hills High School.
Oh, he made some great catches that night. Well, this is what they've worked for.
This will be it.
The bad thing is all the preparation during the week, the butterflies, now it's time to go.
It's over. The 1991 CIF Championship for Division 7 is underway as the Mustangs take the ball. Jeff Clayton takes it to the 35-yard line. So the Mustangs will have an opportunity with good field position to open it up. And again, if we can take you back to the second league game of the season, Bill, when these two teams met, the Mustangs scored early, and then right away they came back, an onside kick, and then they scored again. So you're looking at the slow-mo there, and our slow motion machine tonight is being brought to you by a very special individual, Ayler Insurance.
Paul, we're going to talk a lot about Ayler Insurance. This is such a great part of what we're doing tonight. We're certainly indebted to them.
The wishbone is what the Mustangs come out in, something new for them. Patrick Barnes on the keeper, and he gets 5 yards, and we were kind of told about that.
Paul, is this great? Jim Barnett, you don't know what this guy's going to do. Here's a team that is really renowned for their Greyhound offense with 4 wide receivers and 1 back, or 5 receivers and no back, and he comes out in the wishbone.
And you can see right there, Patrick Barnes on the keeper. And you know, remember Patrick Barnes went for about 70 yards in the first game they had for a touchdown. The wishbone, second down, 4 to go. It's a handoff in there to number 11 for the Mustangs. Gibson Gomez, the halfback, and he picks up 3, pretty close to a first down.
Paul, again, you touched on this, and we certainly want to thank these people. Service, knowledge, and stability best describe Ayler Insurance Agency. Whether handling an individual, a small business, or a large corporation, we approach each client's individual problems and needs with creativity and knowledge of the insurance market. That's Ayler Insurance Agency, located on El Toro Road, 581-2333.
And everybody should have a special thanks to them as the Hawks drop off sides. And, you know, we weren't even be able to have the slow motion tonight because the game is so expensive to cover already. And Dimension, Leo Brennan over at Dimension, I said, Leo, we've got 2 games to cover. And he goes, Paul, I want to do both of them. So we'll see what we can come up with, and we get help, we get help. And these guys have helped us out. And as you'll see in the Dana Hills game coming up next week, some very special people got together for Dana Hills to get us to be able to do that game. So it's a first down and 10 as the Hawks jumped off sides. And that's our first penalty of the game. Staying in that wishbone. Again, Barnes on the keeper. And he picks up 3 before he's tackled inside there by number 64 for the starting defense of the Laguna Hills Hawks. Chris Bevins, the outside linebacker, he's 6 foot, 210 pounds.
Paul, take a look out there right now, and every time Trabuco Hills is in the huddle, one of the wide receivers stays stationed out on the flank. He does not come into the huddle. And they're either flashing the play to him or signaling him in from the sideline.
Second down, 7 to go, just inside the first quarter. Barnes again dishes it off to Clayton, who gets knocked out of bounds. A nice play there by number 40 for the Laguna Hills Hawks, Fred Kim.
What a great strategy. You know, you're known as a passing team. You come out, you put 2 wide receivers outside, and then you put those 3 big guys in the backfield. And to Paul, the thing that makes the most sense about this is this offense fits Patrick Barnes' personality. I'm sure he's loving every minute of this.
Oh, you bet. He's a running quarterback, the option quarterback. Third down, 2. A handoff to number 11, Gibson Gomez, and it looks like the Hawks will prevail as Dan Siska, the linebacker, gets in on the tackle. And Bill Cunardy and the Saddleback Gauchos, my first time out in the public to be able to congratulate you and Coach Ken Swearingen and all your Gauchos over at Saddleback. What a great year, 10-1, the Simple Green Orange County Bowl champions. There was no contest, and of course, when we're all done showing these championship games, that's when we're going to show your game. And congratulations from all of us here at Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion.
Well, Paul, on behalf of Coach Swearingen, our staff, and all of our players, we want to thank you for doing the game under difficult circumstances, and the rain in the second half, and all things considered. Thank you for your support during the season, having our players and coaches on Coach's Corner. And all I can tell you is that we were a happy group of guys when that was over, because, Paul, you know, every recruiter that came by prior to that game told us the same thing. Cerritos is big and fast and strong, and they're going to kill you guys. And our guys enjoyed 42-18 quite a bit.
What a great, no contest. 7-7 in the first quarter. After that, forget it. Clayton gets the carry. And Clayton is one of those guys that's going to be tough to bring down. And Bill, you know, they're burning time right off the clock right now. They're keeping the ball out of the hands. Even though they don't score right now, if they do or don't, they're still keeping the ball out of the hands of Dave Weber.
That's an excellent point, Paul. And I tell you, it's almost turning the opponent's strength against them. Laguna Hills' strength, obviously, is ball control. And they've done such a great job of it this year. And Trabuco Hills comes out and kind of gives them a dose of their own medicine. And remember that wishbone football calls for assignments on defense. And that's a very difficult thing to do all the time.
Well, they're covered out there. Cordell Graham gets tackled out of bounds by number 31 for the Hawks. Nice play by Matt Stilson, the defensive back. And Matt also goes, as you can see in the replay, great job of getting that up there so quickly, guys, in the truck. And a nice tackle there.
Paul, how many quarterbacks do you know in high school that can throw that hitch pass from one hash mark to the wide side of the field? Patrick's arm is exceptionally strong. Forget that he's just a junior. We're talking about a 6'3", 195-pounder, and he's got a cannon.
And we talked to both coaches before the game. They're very optimistic, very at ease before the game tonight. Fumble on the play, and also a bunch of flags go down as well.
Paul, we'll see that play come back again, because they put 2 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen, Tino and also Cordell Graham. They ball faked to the right, and they had Chad Early at tight end running a streak right up the center of the field. And you could see it on our replay there amongst all the hankies flying around.
Yeah, they sure are flying around. And that's illegal procedure. 5 yards, goes back, makes it 3rd down and 9. So far, they've been pretty successful in that 3rd down play. No score. We're in the first quarter. Division 7 CIF Championship game. Barnes drops back to pass, looks over the middle, and he finds a receiver. He's open in the flat. He might go all the way. He's down inside the 5-yard line. Number 80, Chad Early, on the reception.
Paul, it's the same play. The thing we just talked about that they had on the previous play where there was a legal procedure. Here goes Chad Early right down the middle of the field, and what a throw. Look
Beautiful.
At that. Threaded the needle, and Early knows where the end zone is.
And Early shows some speed as well as he outruns 3 players before number 24 gets him from behind for the Laguna Hills Hawks. Dan Siska, 1st down, 2 to go for the touchdown in the wishbone offense. Tim Black, Gibson Gomez, and Clayton back there. They're all bunched up. Clayton gets the call. He's going around that left side. He can't get in. He's pretty close, tackled inside there by the Hawks number 60, and that's a great play by Roman Vasquez to hold him out from the end zone.
Roman did a great job, because when you saw that time, here it is, you watch Clayton, and look where he goes as soon as Vasquez makes his point. Now, you could almost make a point there for that being a touchdown, because
pretty close.
His knees were not on the ground, and he did extend the ball over the goal line.
2nd down and 1. Great job on the slow motion tonight, folks. 2nd down and 1, 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Again, the same backfield. Bleck, Clayton, and now number 5 is in there for the Hawks. And there's some more hankies. Or number 5 was in there for the Mustangs. Some more hankies are thrown as Nathan Bates is in there. And he's kind of playing, what do you call that, Bill, when he lines up right behind the tight end? When you've got the 2 guys and then you got the 1 back that lines up behind the tight end.
That's a wing formation, Paul. Anytime you put a receiver or a running back outside of the tight end, most teams would call that a wing, and that's what they're in again right now. He can run reverses or he's a blocker on that side.
2nd down 1, and Barnes keeps it for the score. So the Mustangs get on the board first. They take off. 5 minutes off the clock, and you can see there as Barnes on the keeper will squirt in for the touchdown. 6:57 to go here in the first quarter. Take a little bit over 5 minutes, Bill, on the clock.
Great job on the slow motion. Let's credit David Schenk with a great block, the right guard there to clear the way for Barnes. What a drive, huh?
The kick, it's up. Tino's kick is no good, wide to the left. So the Hawks kind of prevail a little bit, but the Mustangs, they score first, 6-0 here in Division 7 championship play. We'll have more right after this.
Let me give you a hint on how to preserve the true Christmas spirit. All those gifts that are going out of town, take them to pack mail. They'll gift wrap them, pack them, insure them, and ship them on time and in one piece. Now, what has that got to do with preserving the true Christmas spirit? Just try doing all that stuff yourself, and you'll see what I mean.
Welcome back to the CIF Championship game with the Mustangs and the Hawks 7-0, and they're taking a look at Brett Johnson and Rob Johnson and Coach Bob Johnson, all 3 of the Johnsons here tonight on the sidelines. Of course, Rob is the future quarterback at USC. Fancy coat there by Coach Johnson, and Brett over at Michigan State.
Well, we'll get on Coach Bob Johnson about that sartorial splendor there, looking pretty good. I know his back's feeling quite a bit better after the surgery he had this summer.
And my brother Sean takes therapy with him over at Larry Taylor's place, and he said, yeah, he's feeling a lot better. This is not the kickoff. The Mustangs are up 6-0. We'll take a look at Fred Kim as he has the ball, and he gets out to the 25-yard line. Number 40, that 5'9", 160-pound sophomore. So you know Fred Kim is pretty excited about playing in a CIF championship game. We'll take a look right now again at the starting offense for the Laguna Hills Hawks, wearing those yellow jerseys that have been good luck to them. Justin Vedder is your quarterback. Dave Weber and Ryan Miller. Dave Weber is the fullback. Ryan Miller, Chris Baedecker is the wide receiver. Sam Steinberg is the right guard. Tackle Snyder Jacobs. The offensive ends are Ryan Geyer, Sergio Jimenez. The other tackle is Ryan Brubaker. This time it goes out to Sergio Jimenez, who's got some speed. He gets a first down and more. Gets across the 40 to about the 44-yard line.
Paul, that is how Laguna Hills really creates a perimeter running game, because, you know, Weber really operates most of the time from tackle to tackle, running traps and straight ahead plays. But how many times have we seen Sergio Jimenez run that? Fred Kim ran it early in the season, but it's a tight end reverse. It comes off the dive to Weber, which is our best play. But, you know, your brother gave me the stats. Paul, Trabuco Hills had a 10-play, 66-yard drive for a touchdown.
First down 10, 6:25 to go in the first quarter, 6-0. Justin Vedder, the quarterback, has 2 wide receivers on the near side. Hands off to Weber, who gets maybe a yard at most, as he's brought down rather quickly, so he'll bring up a 2nd down.
Boy, that's a tremendous play by number 51, Corey Miller, the middle linebacker. You know, those guys are taught inside. Here he comes. You watch him beat the trap block. There's the contact.
Strong enough to bring him back down the other
tackle.
way.
Those middle linebackers are taught to read the guards, Paul, and if the guard blocks down or toward the inside, they step up and fill, and that's really a fine play.
Replay brought to you by Ayler Insurance. 2nd down and 9, 5:50 to go in the first quarter. Vedder back to pass for his first time. Throws it out here on this flat to Sergio Jimenez for a first down. 2 plays to Sergio Jimenez, 2 first downs.
Paul, do you see the confidence building in Justin Vedder? He's really becoming proficient at this medium to short-range passing game. Watch this stroke here. Nice delivery. Ball in an easy place to catch, and Sergio makes a nice grab and gets another first down.
First down 10. Ball is on the 45 of the Mustangs. I think their main man for this series looks like to be Sergio Jimenez. They might have discovered a weakness in the first game against them carrying against him. Dave Weber gets the call. Well, you look at Sergio Jimenez and you look at Weber, that's two of your seniors, two of your guys that have speed, power, and experience. You're going to have to use them. Why not use them in the CIF Championship game often?
Tell you what, if you got a gun, shoot it, right? And if you've got athletes of the caliber of these guys, then you build your game plan around their skills. And they've gotten you this far, so
inside 5 minutes.
Great chance for these guys to end their high school careers. We're on both sides of the ball. Trabuco Hills and Laguna Hills, they're seniors. This is a very special night.
Second down 9. The counter play to Weber. You'll see that play often, and that's why Weber, you saw him in the pregame, very hard to bring down, especially below the belt.
Roman Vasquez actually makes 2 blocks on this play. He makes a nice, you can see him here, he'll be the guard pulling, number 60. Chips that in, nice block there, then he looks upfield and goes for his second block on the play. That would get you in a blocking award most of the time if you make 2 blocks on 1 play.
Bill, they're still buying tickets to get in tonight, so we're going to have a great crowd on hand. A little chilly, but not as bad as it was last week. Third down 2, offsides penalty. And it was really freak to see the rain come down at the Simple Green Orange County Bowl. At halftime, it was rather nice, and then all of a sudden it started to sprinkle, and you guys got just rained on really well.
Well, I got to tell you what happened. We came out at halftime, and it's been Coach Swearingen's kind of mode of operation that whatever weather it is, it's gaucho weather. So we come out of the locker room. Of course, we had a 28-6 lead, and it's raining, and our guys are going, great, it's gaucho weather. And we walk by the Cerritos guys, and they're going, oh no, what else could go wrong?
Because they're a running football team too. First down 10, and they had to pass a lot to get back at you guys, and they didn't really do it. Another offsides penalty by the Mustangs, 2 in a row.
Paul, this week when I was at the Laguna Hills practice, Coach Steve Bresnahan has done a really good job with Justin Vedder working on a staggered, non-rhythmical cadence. And you can go on what's called a hard or a soft sound. And that makes a big difference when you're trying to fool those defensive linemen.
First down and 5 to go, so back-to-back offside penalties by the Mustangs. Puts the ball on the 27-yard line. First down, 5 to go, 6-0 Mustangs. The Hawks have the ball in the yellow jerseys. A fake to Weber, and throws it over Sergio Jimenez's head. Or no, actually Ryan Geyer's head, pardon me, 41.
Paul, the beauty of this offense is, although it looks like a run-oriented offense because you're in 2 tight ends with a single back, you always have 4 receivers moving up the field. And you've seen all the time how they make such great use of Geyer and Jimenez, the 2 tight ends. And I think, again, because it stretches the defense so much, we can look for those tight ends to catch the ball up the middle of the field.
Second down 5, 6-0, 3:36 to go. Weber gets the call. He bursts up for a first down inside the 20. Dave Weber and Sergio Jimenez.
Paul, that is a Marty Spalding trademark, a good trapping football team. And you watch number 60, Roman Vasquez again, and they have run that play so many times this year. I think that, you'd think the defenses would be ready to stop it, but if you execute it correctly, it's a very, very difficult play to counter.
First down, 10, 3:15 to go. A handoff to Weber again. Boy, he's hard to bring down as he gets down to the 10-yard line.
Great body strength. Not only upper body strength, but in his case, obviously great leg strength, because it's very difficult for one guy to bring him down.
Joe, what is your last name? Konachek. We want to thank Joe Konachek tonight from Dimension Cable, doing a fantastic job on the technical side. And Bill, I had the opportunity to introduce you to Joe, and he's the one who fine-tunes our truck and our instant replay and our monitor when it goes out at times.
I told Joe I really admire his talents because I can't even get my VCR to work out.
Second down 3, as you see the replay, we go back to live action. And Dave Weber gets the call. They're looking for the first down first, Bill, before they get in. Now they've got a full set of downs, and this is kind of interesting. The Mustangs get the ball, they travel all the way down, they get in the end zone. The Hawks get the ball, they travel all the way down, they're looking like they're going to get in the end zone. That close.
Does it lead you to believe these are 2 evenly matched teams?
If you would have watched the first game, I guess going into that game, the Hawks were favored, and it really switched around rather quickly as Coach Jim Barnett and his kind of his free-for-all offense really came out of the show and won that game 34-21. First down 6, 2 wide receivers on the near side. Justin Vedder hands off to the man that's working for you. That's Weber. He's down to the 2 before he's brought down by about 3 or 4 Mustangs inside there. You got Chad Early getting up. Number 77 for the Mustangs also inside, Audney DiPaolo. So Bill Cunity, this will bring up second down and short, probably about second down and 1 for the touchdown.
You know, inside, when you look at the way those people block for the Laguna Hills offense, those offensive linemen, somebody said once, if you were a fugitive from the law, be an offensive lineman because nobody would know where you are. You know, it's an easy place to hide, but we'll recognize all those guys during the course of the game. They have done a magnificent job blocking for Weber all year long.
Second down, they're calling it 3. Justin Vedder on the cadence, hands off to Weber. Not a bad call there. Maybe Justin Vedder keeps it on one of those and rolls out. I kind of thought he had the ball.
Paul, that's the play. You really picked up on that play when you looked at how quickly the defensive end crashed down to stop Weber. If they run the dive keep down here, I think that Vedder might have a chance to score a touchdown himself. Now the ball's on about the 3-yard line. It's third down, and certainly down here because Trabuco Hills has already scored, you'd love to come away with a touchdown.
Dave Weber, the lone setback in the backfield. Justin Vedder, we've got a third down, hands off to Weber, touchdown.
Nope.
No, they didn't hand it. They faked. Pardon me, they faked to Weber, and Vedder had the ball, and he got stopped. So I went for the fake, and the Mustangs did.
You know what, Paul? You know, we both looked at that play the first time and said, well, if Vedder keeps the ball, his opportunities to score might be great. And as fate would have it, I think Trabuco Hills said the same thing, so they designed the defense that time for the perimeter, and Weber went into the end zone untouched. He just didn't have the ball.
Taking a look at some of the banners hanging up here. A lot of them. We'll get a look at hopefully most of them. Fourth down, they're going for it. Fourth down 2. Why not? What do you have to lose? Go for the game here. And the end of the first quarter comes to a conclusion before they can get that playoff. That's good news for the Hawks. They'll have a chance to think of a play here. So at the end of the first quarter, a quick one at that, the Mustangs have a 6-0 lead here, the Division 7 CIF Championship game. Los Angeles Raiders, the big bad silver and black. Join me, Paul Higgins, on Newswatch 56, Monday through Friday, starting at 9 o'clock, for previews, highlights, and profiles on the Los Angeles Raiders. They are the winningest team in professional sports. Join me for in-depth coverage and highlights only seen on Newswatch 56, with me, your host, Paul Higgins. Boy, we were talking about a very quick first quarter. The game started a little after 7:30, so it took about 20 minutes for that first quarter to come to an end. 2 running teams tonight as the score is 6-0. We start in the second quarter, 4th down and 2, as the Hawks are going to go for the touchdown. Dave Weber in the backfield. And it's a fake, and it's going to be caught for the touchdown. Sergio Jimenez holds on to it. What a great play-action fake to Sergio Jimenez, the wide receiver. Justin Vedder did a nice job of putting it into the open man.
That's a nice play call by Steve Bresnahan, a well-designed play on the goal line. You run your best running back right at that defensive end. That freezes him. They pulled Roman Vasquez to come out and be the protector, and we seem to be talking about Sergio Jimenez all night.
Oh, boy.
He ran a nice little slip route, and Vedder hit him right in the hands again. So I think that's a really nice play call by Steve Bresnahan, and of course
the all-important PAT right here, first down, and on the PAT, they go for it on 4th down. Now they come back, they score the PAT, so the Hawks have a 7-6 lead. Both teams have had the ball, and both teams have scored. We'll be back with more after this.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million
They got the best of so much less. You really flip your lid.
From bikes to trains to video games, it's the biggest toy store there is.
I don't want to grow up, because baby, if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
More games, more toys, oh boy! I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
First down 10. This is the point after attempt on the instant replay as the Hawks take a 1-point advantage in the opening minutes of the second quarter, 7-6.
You know, the two kickers might play a big part in this game tonight.
I'm sorry.
We've got your namesake, Devin Higgins, and also Jason Tino.
Laguna Hills goes 18 plays, or 12 plays, 7 minutes on the drive. On a 4th down and 2, it was Vedder to Jimenez. The kick is good, so the score is 7-6. So both teams are scoring when they have the ball. Let's see if the Mustangs come up with that wishbone offense again as the kickoff is underway to start the second quarter. As Clayton again has the ball. Watch out, Clayton's got some room. He needs to be one man. He gets across midfield, knocked out of bounds on the 42-yard line. So once again, the Mustangs have great field position.
And who makes the tackle? Devin Higgins, and I think kickers probably would rather not make that play. Paul, I see 2 flags. I think we had 2 clips back there.
Maybe that's why he got out
calling.
there.
Yeah.
See if we can pick up the clips as Jeff Clayton, the ball carrier, number 24. And there you go. There's the clip right there. Number 44 gets clipped by the Hawks. Mike Maceranka gets nailed from behind. So that was the clip. This will bring it all the way down to the 21-yard line. So the Mustangs will go the distance, 79 yards if they can. First down and 10.
Paul, one of the reasons, you touched on this before, one of the reasons we were 10-1 at Saddleback this year is we get players who are coached by these guys.
That's right. And they changed their offense, Bill. Clayton, what about it? Check it out. He's gone. He's got the 40. He's down to the cross the 50-yard line. An instant boom right up the gap, and he gets a first down and a whole lot more.
You know, it's interesting about playing against Jim Barnett is you better keep your eyes open because they changed offenses again. They went back to the single back, ran a little quick trap. And I'll tell you, watch Clayton's stride. I tell you, he runs almost like a hurdler. He's got great big legs and tough to tackle, but
Adam Roman.
He went from, he about made up the penalty almost, you know, Paul?
Oh, he sure did.
Flip and
Adam Roman on the touchdown saving tackle, the freshman. First down and 10 for the Mustangs. They get it back, all but 6 yards. Barnes is going to get brought down by Greg DeFelice, and they called the play before Greg DeFelice gets to do a nice takedown.
You know, it's tough to lift a guy that's 6'3" and 195 pounds.
Yeah. Greg DeFelice is 5'8", 160 pounds, as you see right there. Gets underneath, gets him from behind.
Paul, when I went to their practice this week, I was talking to Marty Spalding about these football players, and Marty could not say enough good things about Greg DeFelice. He said, what a joy it's been to coach this guy, and you know, he just plays with a big heart, and he gives you everything he has. And he's not a very big guy, and he's right smack in the middle of everything down there playing nose guard.
And he'll be back next year. Trips on the left for the Mustangs, and Patrick Barnes. Passing situation. He's rushed by Kingston. A nice screen play intended for Clayton. They set it up nice. And Rafer went with what he had to do. Yeah, his quarterback was the man.
Paul, that is a play that I am certain you will see again tonight. They line up in trips. They have no backs. They have a wing on the right. And you draw coverage to those 3 wide receivers, and then you screen to the wing back, and that is a really terrific play.
Of course, our instant replay is being brought to you by Ayler Insurance. That's the #1 reason we are bringing you the replay tonight here on Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion. We'll tell you more about them throughout the game, and please write their number down, because if they're good enough to give us a slow motion machine tonight, they're good enough to serve you here in Orange County. Third down, 15. They're going to have to punt the ball, Bill.
Paul, let's talk about them again. Service, knowledge, and stability best describe Ayler Insurance Agency. Whether handling an individual, a small business, or a large corporation, they approach each client's individual needs and problems with creativity and knowledge of the insurance markets. That's Ayler Insurance at 581-2333. And boy, thanks again to those people for this instant replay opportunity.
4th down, 12, punting situation. almost blocked in there. The punt goes down to about the 26-yard line before it's picked up by number 77, Audie DiPaolo. So now the Hawks, they prevail. They stop the Mustangs, and even though Clayton got off to that big gain on that first down call, the Hawks get the ball back on offense. And what do you expect now? They're going to continue to do the Sergio Jimenez, Dave Weber combination?
I don't think you'll see any change. I'll tell you what to look for, though, Paul. Look for those tight ends again up the middle of the field. Sergio Jimenez, Ryan Geyer, off of play action fakes to Weber. I think that is an area where Trabuco Hills is most vulnerable.
First down 10. The ball is on the 27-yard line. Vedder fakes it. He's got a man open. Sergio Jimenez is going for it, thrown deep. And this is one game that you won't see both coaches on the sideline. Coach Steve Bresnahan is in the box tonight, and I look across the field and I see Coach Barnett. He's on the sidelines, and sometimes he does coach from the box as well.
He's over there right now with Gary Ham, his offensive assistant. And we just talked about the fact that I thought the tight ends would be a big part of this game plan, and that was a nice job in coverage that time by number 31, Nate Urone. I think one of the things that you'll be able to see, and there's Jim Barnett and Gary Ham talking over offensive strategy, is in order for those tight ends to get open, most of the time it has to come off that play action to Weber.
Second down 10. Justin Vedder drops back. They have a 1-point lead. A pass out there to that wide receiver on the left-hand side. And so this will bring up a third down. As number 31 for the Hawks gets the ball, Matt Stilson, the wide receiver. Do you ever predict that maybe Jim Barnett might come out in that Greyhound offense? Are we going to see everything tonight?
One thing perhaps I've learned over all the years I've known Jim is perhaps don't try to predict anything, because the guy's he's gonna do the unexpected. And you know what? I think that's fun. I think it's fun for the players. It's fun for the people that watch his teams. He's got a very creative imagination.
Vedder hands off to Weber. So how equal can this game be? 7-6. Now it's going to bring up a fourth down. So the Hawks are going to have to punt. They're exchanging plays here as we continue here in the second quarter. A real quick game so far, Bill. 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Mainly, of course, because they're running the ball.
That's right. John Pugh and Tim Bleck on the tackle. You know, Tim Bleck, remember, he started out as a linebacker and a fullback. He's now playing defensive tackle, and he's an outstanding wrestler. And, you know, Paul, from what we see at the start of the season to the end of the season, players move all over the place, and the guys that are playing in this game have obviously performed better than anybody over the course.
Whoa, check out the snap. It goes over the head of the punter, Higgin, and he kicks it anyway. A good heads-up play by number 20 of the Hawks, Ryan Miller. And Ryan Miller gets the ball out, but this will be a big, big play.
Paul, that is one of the greatest plays I've seen by a kicker in a long time. The ball was snapped over his head, and instead of running back and falling on it or, you know, picking the ball up and trying to run, he turned around in one motion and kicked that ball back out to the 28-yard line.
Way over his head the snap was as we line up and get ready to go to live action here. First down and 10.
Watch
nice play.
Move, I'll tell you.
Clayton gets the ball. He's inside the 25 before he's brought down. We haven't seen any turnovers. We've seen some flags. Now we see what's good as a turnover, Bill.
I'm so impressed with that play. I think Ryan Miller, when he got the ball, there were defenders closing in on him. He turned and kicked that ball with one step and got it back up the field. And, you know, you really avert a disaster there, because now you allow your defense to come back on the field. At least you've given them 25 or 30 yards to play with.
Clayton picks up 2 on the first down carry. He gets the call again, going off that right tackle, and he's brought down before he picks up 3 or 4 more. So he'll bring up a third down as Patrick Barnes runs to the sidelines to talk to Coach Jim Barnett to get the play firsthand.
Paul, it's also nice tonight to see a crowd like this for these two teams. You know, the Missions and the Capitals and the El Toros aren't playing, but I see a lot of those people here tonight.
That's right. Well, we've got 3 El Toro people here that used to be at El Toro, the Johnsons.
I'm going to rent that jacket.
Third down 4, pretty important play. Cordell Graham on the wide receiver position. Fumble on the play, the Hawks recover.
Now, Paul, how big is that play the punter made? I'll tell you what, if you just never give up in this game, something good will happen. It looked for a second like Trabuco Hills was going to get the big, easy score. And, you know, just because Ryan Miller just wouldn't give up on that play, they got the ball back.
And the other Ryan Brubaker comes up with the fumble. So a mix-up on the exchange. First down and 10. We're talking about how equal this game is. They're both making mistakes, and they're both scoring. First down, 10. Justin Vedder hands off to Weber. Weber gets a first down as he cruises over that 35-yard line. So that will bring up another first down for Dave Weber.
You know, those statistics that are kept in the NFL and in college and stuff now, it's, you know, giveaways and takeaways. I think those things are so critical because in a game of momentum, as this game is, look at Weber pop that. Now watch Weber deliver a blow here up the field. It's not much fun to tackle this guy. If your defense can get you the ball back, offensively, it provides such a spark.
Nate Yaron slowed down Weber before he got a first down, or actually after he got a first down. Weber gets the call again, and a shoestring tackle there by the Mustangs. And speaking of the Mustangs, they're up in the area of Rancho Santa Margarita, just about 5 miles away. We want to welcome all those people in Santa Margarita now joining Dimension Cable. We've been bringing the game of the week to you for the last 5 years here in South Orange County. Sure happy that all those people up in that area can finally see us. And my brother is sure happy because he lives up there and he hasn't been able to see the game in 3 or 4 years that he's lived there. So we welcome all you, and of course during the season we covered a lot of Santa Margarita High School, and we'll be back up there again with basketball this year. Second down, 9 to go, pickup of 1 on that first down carry. Fake to Weber, looking for Sergio Jimenez. The ball falls incomplete. Good one-on-one coverage there by number 31 for the Mustangs, Nate Yaron.
Our thanks again, too, to the people at Dimension for doing both of the games this weekend, Paul. I know I was with you at the studios on Monday when you asked if that was a possibility, and their support, and in turn, Paul, what you do for this community is just tremendous. How many times do you get to a CIF final, and then how many times do you get to watch it on television?
Yeah.
It's something that these guys can keep forever. So
glad to bring it.
I hope the people in this community appreciate what you've done in a very short period of time.
Well, thank you very much. And it's a lot of hard work by a lot of people behind the scenes. Justin Vedder throws it out on that left flat, Bill. And that's a nice play out there by number 31 for the Hawks. Matt Stilson, a nice pass by Justin Vedder as well. He's threading the needle every time.
You know, last summer in our West Coast Passing School, we had both these youngsters. We had Pat Barnes and we had Justin Vedder. And watch him step up inside that defender and throw a strike. When you look at these two guys, you know, Patrick's a big strapping guy, 195 pounds. And Justin's not very big, but both of them possess great competitive spirits. And, you know, when you look at how they get it done, they're a little different in the way they accomplish things. But, you know, the bottom line is they both get it done.
You're right. That brings up a 1st and 10. Vedder again to pass. He's looking out here. A nice try to catch that ball inside by the Hawks. Can't pick up his number yet.
Looks like I think that's number 31.
Number 31.
31, that's Matt Stilson
Matt
again.
Stilson. If we can kind of give you an idea where we're at, we're way up on top of the high perch there, so if we can't pick it up on camera, we try to get it with our own eyes. And second down and 10. And I know you got great eyes, Bill.
You see my outfit, you know I'm colorblind for sure.
Oh, you got a great outfit. Looks great tonight.
Really depend on my wife Claudia to pick out the colors.
And she does a good job. A mix-up in the backfield as Vedder holds on to it, so this will bring up a 3rd down play. And I haven't been able to see Claudia that much this year, Bill. You've been so busy doing everything, winning 10 ball games.
Well, I think a little bit of that too, and I think all the moms in this area can appreciate when you have children from about maybe 5 or 6 years on, 6 years old on up through high school. The moms, I'm amazed at what they do time-wise, because they're always driving somebody somewhere to go to another event. You know, it's
Vedder back to pass. It looks like we could have had pass interference there, and then we do get a late flag. So on Sergio Jimenez, the intended receiver.
Another fine throw by Vedder, and even though there is a flag on the ground, they will decline that penalty, I think, and the catch was made by Sergio with about a yard to spare for the first down.
Sergio Jimenez and Nate Yaron there. So that will bring up a first down as they're talking to the referee, and they're going to expand it just a little bit more as well.
Well, that's correct. They accept the penalty, which gives them an extra 5 yards. In this little give and take, back and forth struggle here, field position, as we always talk about, takes a part. But you know, the one thing that we haven't talked much about is in this exchange and this momentum, the thing that's really going to pay off here eventually, I think, is who can throw the ball under pressure the best of these two teams. I think they're both going to run it well.
Dave Weber is running it well, as you just mentioned that point. Dave Weber for Laguna Hills, and also Jeff Clayton for Trabuco Hills. What a great job they're doing. Boy, we have all the hills in the finals this year. Dana Hills, Trabuco Hills, Laguna Hills, and congratulations to Dana Hills. Of course, we're going to see them next week on the Game of the Week as you're watching Dave Weber as they took on Irvine. That game will be on next week, and then following that game, the next week after that, will be the Saddleback Gauchos. First down, 10 inside, 3.5 minutes to go here in the first half. 7-6, the Hawks have the lead. Dave Weber is going to carry the ball 50 times tonight, Bill, as he gets the call once again. Do you use the guy up? It's the last game of the year. Do you use him up?
You know, you saw our plan against Cerritos the other night.
Marcellus Christian.
We haven't had a running back carry the ball 30 times in some time, but Marcellus, the plan we had was to, you know, work him a little bit. Plus, he's got great backup support from Marwan Saba, Matt Carvalho, Chad DeYoung, all those guys. We haven't seen much of Weber's backup because he's so durable. This guy can play every play.
Second down, 9. Again, Weber on the counter. Boy, he gets up that middle, and he's one of those guys that has the great vision that he just looks every time where he wants to go.
Paul, this game's being won up front right now by the offensive line of Laguna Hills. Look at the blocking. There's a nice trap block again by Roman Vasquez. And Paul, I want you to watch something tonight too down there. When Laguna Hills traps, it's going to be number 60, Roman Vasquez. He does a great job of it. He's obviously well coached by Marty Spalding, but boy, up front, they're really doing a job.
Third down, 1. Steinberg, Jacobs, Geyer, Jimenez, Brubaker, Vasquez, and Bevins, the wide receivers in the front line up there, along with Miller and Baedeker. Weber again looking for the gap. He gets inside the 10-yard line. He picks up the first down. So, Bill, it's unbelievable. We're already down to 2:03 to go here in the first half. Incredible. And a game that's not having a lot of penalties as well. We've only seen 2 or 3 penalties.
We'll have to have a long halftime show.
Yeah, we've got a great halftime show coming up to you. A local bodybuilder in the area. We're going to have a special look at him.
Me again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Alexander is a local man. We're going to take a quick timeout because we got to do a quick tape change. We'll be back right after this.
Have set plays that will take advantage of a team's weakness or our strength.
These are a group of individuals that have been together for a long time. When you get there, it's a whole different story. You have to work really hard.
And our passing was a little bit off, and it made me work a little bit harder to get to the ball. And
Coach's Corner, the inside advantage to local sports. Every night at 7:30 on Dimension 3.
You didn't miss a play. Second down, 4 to go. 1:17 to go here in the first half. The Hawks are driving again. Flag on the play.
Well, the left guard jumped early that time, and you can see they're calling illegal procedure against the Hawks, moving the ball back. It's really difficult. You just have to concentrate so hard down here that you can't make mistakes like that down in the scoring zone. It's just tough in a game like this to even get down there. So you just got to be very efficient. How you know why he did that? He's pumped up and ready to go.
How bad does that hurt you now? You've got the momentum, and boy, the clock's about a minute to play in the first half. You get a 5-er. And how bad does that hurt you?
I think when you're on a roll like these guys are, I'm not sure it hurts them at all. They just come back and say, hey.
Here, Dave Weber, here's the ball.
Let's overcome it right now.
2nd down, 9 to go for the touchdowns. The Hawks have a 1-point advantage off an earlier touchdown to Sergio Jimenez. Vedder drops back. He's looking for Jimenez again. This time he's guarded. Inside there, a nice defensive play by Chad Early, number 80. Timed that one perfectly, Bill, to bring up a 3rd down and 9 now.
Little bootleg pass. Ryan Geyer on the back door. Watch.
Looking good rolling to his left.
Does a nice job throwing back into the middle of the field. And boy, just a hand in there by Chad Early. That's an excellent defensive play.
And excellent camera work as well, guys. 3rd down, 9 to go. 45 seconds to go in the first half. The quickest game of the week that we have done this year so far in the first half. The second half will probably be 3 hours old.
Well, they won't be able to sell hot dogs tonight.
That's
for those
right.
half-price deals at the end of the game.
3rd down, 9 to go. Vedder rolls to his left, kind of stops, throws it over the right-hand side. Sergio Jimenez, touchdown!
There is a great throw and a great individual effort by Sergio Jimenez on the goal line. Paul, the reason I said I didn't think it would bother him, here he is, he's crossing back from the left side. Nice throw. Now watch this effort. Contact is made on the 3-yard line. He's not going to be denied.
Nate Yaron on the tackle. Sergio Jimenez on his 2nd TD of the night prevailed. We have a 13-6 game.
The reason I said I didn't think it was going to bother him, these guys are playing with a great deal of confidence. And a 5-yard penalty, say, hey guys, you know what? We can overcome that, and they certainly did.
Well, 13-6, Higgins on the PAT. He strikes it through, 14-6. We'll stay right here as we're about 39 seconds left in the first half.
We'd like to give a special thanks tonight to Oak Crest Financial for all their support, and also for providing financial services to the residents and future residents of Saddleback Valley. Fine quality professional service is a standard at Oak Crest Financial. 859-0808. That's Oak Crest Financial. And we want to certainly thank again Ayler Insurance for providing our instant replay tonight. Paul, I really think that's been a terrific addition to our telecast.
You know, you see it on the college level and the pro level, but to see it on the high school level sure is fun because you can really learn a lot.
I wish they had instant replay in professional wrestling. I could really study that.
To see how real it is.
I know you as a great wrestler in high school. You got to love that, right? They put on the sleeper hold.
Yep. A beautiful shot of the moon there. 14-6. I'm going to guess that must have been done by our Sean Fairburn.
Sean's kind of a moon guy.
Yeah, he is. He's still in love, you know. He's on his honeymoon for the next year and a half.
Paul, last time on the kickoff, Clayton had that 46-yard return.
You got to kick it away from him.
Let's see if they kick it to him again.
14-6. The Hawks are up. Not surprising, though. 8-point lead. They kick it on the ground. It will go short. Number 36 for Trabuco picks that ball. He's knocked out of bounds. Dave Carrero, the strong safety, and also the quarterback. He also is listed as a quarterback. So we've got 33 to go. Plenty of time for Patrick Barnes.
You know, that score with just barely a minute to go in the half is really a momentum booster for Laguna Hills to go in up 14-6, and that extra point that was missed early could loom pretty big at the end of this game.
First down 10. Patrick Barnes throws out on the flat.
Paul, do you remember the game we did against Estancia?
Sure do.
Hills, where right before the half, they did not get out of bounds with a couple of those passes, and it cost them a touchdown.
Coach Barnett went nuts.
Yeah, good job that time.
And you said then, Bill, that Patrick Barnes would learn off of that, and I'm sure he has. His older brother probably talked to him as well. Clayton, boy, he's got some speed. He gets across the 40-yard line. 23 to go. They're going to move the chains as Clayton will call a timeout. Now, Clayton has become a very smart football player, especially this year. You know, he sat the back seat to some big big backs, Rooker and Julian Ford over there at Trabuco Hills, but now he's playing great football.
Well, he really, in this particular situation, when they put him in the slot, he shows his versatility. We've seen him run the ball on the trap play, but this young man has great hands because as a multi-purpose guy like that, boy, he's a threat all over the field.
Bill, that was a great shot. If we can get that shot again, to see the height of Barnes over all his players. Look, he's taller than everybody there, and that's great vision down the field. Number 9, we're talking about, the quarterback. He's taller than every player out there, and he's only a junior. And, of course, he's looking forward to playing some basketball this year, too.
I remember we did a few of the Trabuco Hills games last year in basketball, and you know, Patrick is a very aggressive basketball player also. He doesn't mind getting the floor burns and stuff like that. And he has matured throughout this season too, and has become a really solid quarterback.
14-6, 23 seconds left. The Hawks have an 8-point advantage in the first half. 4 wide receivers. The Hawks are playing the defense for it. They get it out on that right side. A nice play inside there as number 30 for the Mustangs gets it all the way down. Cordell Graham gets him in field goal range as well.
Did they learn? You bet they did. They threw it to the boundary and they got it out of bounds. 14 seconds left. They saved the timeout. Now this one's critical. With 14 seconds left, you cannot afford to have this next ball, if it is caught and tackled, you've got to have it somewhere near the boundary so you have a chance to get out of bounds.
Cordell Graham, as you saw in the Ayler instant replay, somebody has called a timeout on the field, but we'll stay right with you. 14-6.
Paul, watch right now. Trabuco Hills lines up in the same offense they did when we covered them the first time these two teams played. 2 wide receivers stacked to each side of the field, but take a look at where Clayton is. He's lined up in that little slot position and
get out there and
straight up the pump.
Sure.
The guy goes straight up the middle of the field. Right now, the only guy back there is the safety, Roman. So keep an eye on number 24, Clayton, as this play unravels here.
14 seconds left in the first half. They're working the sidelines, gets out of bounds number 5 for the Mustangs, and of course that's Nathan Bates, picks up another 5 yards, and they only took 4 seconds off the clock, down to 10.
Boy, it takes a strong arm to throw that pass.
We've got Tino and Cordell Graham on the near side, and Bates out there on the right side along with Chad Early.
Now, Paul, you run the outside guy to the post.
Taking a lot of time off the clock, gets it off.
Is that a smart play? You said he's learning how to play the game, and you hit it on the head. Maybe 7 or 8 weeks ago, he might have been sacked on that play. But he throws the ball out of bounds in the direction of a receiver, so it's not grounding the ball, and saves an opportunity here to kick a field goal. But you know what? I don't think they're going to kick the field goal. There's only 6 seconds left. I'd say maybe you can throw this one more play. I think Jim Barnett wants a touchdown here, and I think you're going to see a pass that eventually ends up in the end zone. Nothing short of the end zone.
Let's go back to the beginning weeks. It's hard to believe 14 weeks ago the season began. We'll go back and take a Laguna Hills, how they got to where they did in preseason. The first game they played was against Santiago. They won that one 24-7. And then San Clemente, we saw that here in the game of the week. The Hawks really dominated the Tritons 27-7. The next weekend, they fall to their first loss against Garden Grove, 14-7. The next weekend after that, Bill, they really got crushed by Mission Viejo, 35-0. Those were learning experiences. And then after that, they came back and tied Savannah. And that got them ready for league season. In league season, their first game of the year was against Costa Mesa, 21-17. And then they played Trabuco Hills at Trabuco Hills. We had that on the game of the week. They lost that game 34-21. They have won 6 in a row since then. We'll take a look at Trabuco Hills just a little bit later.
Yeah, I'll tell you that they're hot.
3rd down, 4 to go.
Watch this play that if it is a pass here, this should end up in the end zone. Nothing short of the end zone.
Barnes throws it out. Touchdown, Jason Tino. The Mustangs are once again on the board.
What a big score that is. And Paul, just a few minutes ago after that kickoff, remember you said there were 33 seconds left. They drove the length of the field in 33 seconds. And now here's a strike on the post pattern from Barnes to Tino.
5 plays, they get in the end zone. Jason Tino looked back, said, hey, this is nothing. I want to do that one again.
Well, now you're going to see the try for a 2-point conversion to tie this game up at halftime. And is that fitting? I think
perfect.
Fairly evenly matched teams.
Perfect.
And,
we've got a man down on the field too, Bill. I can't quite see who it is.
I think that's Roman. I think when he got hit by Tino, it looked like he got a forearm in the helmet. And
they're working on his lower right leg there. as I kind of peer through the binoculars, and it's 14-12 as we speak.
Well, we have a minute here, Paul. We'd like to thank the people at Telecel for their expert service and installation, remembering that if you purchase a cellular telephone from Telecel, and you mentioned that you heard about it on Athletes in Motion's Game of the Week, the installation is free. That's Telecel cellular and mobile phones. We sell the best and service the rest. They're an authorized agent for LA Cellular, and that's 1-800-366-2222. That's that's Telecel. And Paul would especially like to thank Tim for the installation of the phone in his car, and I've called you 7 or 8 times, Paul, on the freeway, and I can never get you.
Adam Roman comes off the field, and you know what, since I've got that car phone, I don't know what I'd do without it now. I know you have one too. They're great.
I'll tell you what, lifesaver.
Here we go. They're going for the 2. 5 plays. They've scored a touchdown. Now they're going to go for the 2-point conversion. They're looking for everyone's covered. Barnes is trying to get it out to someone. They do. Good. In the end zone. Boy, Barnes looked good on that play.
What a job he did avoiding 2 rushers and then throwing a strike
to Cordell
Graham.
We're tied up at halftime. We've got 2 seconds left on the clock. We'll stay here for the kickoff. And maybe in 2 seconds, you never know, the Hawks might be able to take the ball all the way on the kickoff. It will be 14-14 if nothing else changes. And Bill explained this play as you see the touchdown
there's
there.
The post pattern for the touchdown. Now they're going to come back on the 2-point extra point with a flood pattern. They get into a formation where they can sprint out and have excellent protection. But the receivers were covered. And Barnes, I'll tell you what, this has been like graduate school for him on this drive, because you can see how much he's progressed as a quarterback. He avoided 2 of the rushers, which allowed Graham to come back off the original pattern and get open again, and then he made a nice catch in the end zone. So,
I want to make you aware of our halftime show tonight. It's a local athlete, Frank Alexander. He's a bodybuilder and kind of tells his story about how he got involved in it. And that's a special piece we have coming up at halftime here on Athletes in Motion and Dimension Sports. Following that, we will come back with the second half. Looking forward to bringing you an exciting CIF game. Bill, you said I was excited before the game. Good reason to be, isn't it? 14-14.
Is this great? I'll tell you. 2 evenly matched teams and playing for all the marbles.
And this might run out the clock, as it does, but check it out. Just like we talked about, it only takes 1 play, but that culminates 24 exciting minutes of football here on Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion. A CIF Championship game the way it should be played, with the Mustangs and the Hawks tied at 14.
Parents, does your athlete desire to continue his or her athletic career on the college level? Athletes for College is a promotion and marketing service for high school athletes in all sports. This is a reliable method for achieving high visibility among college coaches. Why wait? Let Athletes for College develop a personalized promotion program that can achieve maximum exposure to college opportunities. Call now for more information. 714-348-9410. That's 348-9410. Athletes for College.
I started bodybuilding in 1978. I recently won the 1991 Tournament of Champions bodybuilding championships, which was August 10th, 1991. Well, I started training at about 6 months out for a competition that I have picked to compete in that year. I normally start out, as I just said, 6 months out, and I take 6 months from a weight of 250 pounds, which is a pretty heavy weight at that time, in a state of bulking, as people call it. And I take that and I say, okay, after 6 months of hard training, the contest is maybe another 3 months from there. So we really have a total of 9 months. But I use the 6 months as my bulk training. Then I take the other 3 months, which is 12 weeks, and diet that down into the chiseled hard muscle. Okay, and that takes 12 weeks to do so. The diet is high protein foods, moderate carbohydrates, calories, anywhere from 3,000 calories, bringing them down to 1,500 calories a day. The off-season training consists of heavier weight, a little bit less repetitions and more sets. For example, on my Mondays, I trained chest and back. I would do a heavier chest routine and a heavier back routine, proposed to a lot of repetitions in that type of training. I do a 3-on, 1-off split type of routine, which consists of a half an hour in the morning of cardiovascular training, abdominal training. Then I go from there to a little break in between. I'll come back and I'll hit a major body part type routine. Then from there, I do more cardiovascular, giving myself an hour a day of cardiovascular training. But there's other interests besides bodybuilding. I mean, I do other things as well. I don't want to seem like I'm the typical stereotype bodybuilder. I have a love for horses. I own quarter horses that's in San Juan. I'm getting into team pinning after I wrap up the last competition that I'm involved in right now. I've loved horses all my life. I've been around them. I love them. I've had 5 horses at one time. I lived up in Lake Paris here in California. I have 2 now, quarter horses. They're both 4 years old. And those are like my animal kids. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy training. You know, I train 7 days a week at times. People wonder, how the hell can you train 7 days a week? Well, it's easy, you know. It's easy. It's something I enjoy doing. Just like I mentioned earlier about the horses. I enjoy my horses. I go ride my horses during my break. So from there, I spend time with my daughter. You know, I take her to the stables and we ride together, trying to get her involved in it. As I said in the beginning of the year to myself, and I've voiced this to a couple other friends, that this was my year. I really, really felt strongly about 1991 being my year for a lot of things, financially, competing. I'm doing well. I'm not at the top. I'm not really where I want to be, but I'm happy. You know, I mean, when do you get to where you want to be? I don't really think that money's everything, even though it's a very, very good way of getting to the top. Is our necessity in the world today. I feel good, and that's the bottom line. I'm happy.
Lake Forest Limousine Service, ultimately the best limousine service in all of Orange County. We cater to all your needs, ranging from airport service to wedding engagements. If you're in need of transportation for business meetings or cross-town conference calls, ask us about our town car service and affordable rates. We guarantee professional service. How about that special day in your life? Ask us about our popular wedding packages in the newest and finest automobiles. We specialize in cordial and unbeatable service for all your wants and needs. Lake Forest Limousine Service has plush and comfortable automobiles for any occasion. And don't forget to ask us about our convenient airport service, as we serve all the Southern California airports. Enjoy the good life. Call Lake Forest Limousines today at 714-380-7794. That's 380-7794.
Ballpark Pizza has 3 locations to serve you. In Laguna Niguel, call 249-2778. In Mission Viejo, to order your favorite pizza at Los Alisos and Trabuco Road, their number is 859-7874. And on Crown Valley and Marguerite, call Ballpark Pizza Team at 347-9338.
Welcome back to the start of the second half. The score is 14-14. The Hawks and the Mustangs. CIF Division 7 championship game as Jason Tino kicks the ball off as the Hawks will get it once again. And brought out close to the 30-yard line for the Hawks. It looks like there's a fumble on the play. The referees have not called anything. I didn't hear a whistle until just now. So we'll have to see. Looks like the Hawks think they have come up with it, and it is. It's the Hawks' ball, and they'll start 1st and 10 as you see the replay. And as you watch the replay, we'll tell you about some first half stats tonight. For Trabuco Hills, number of plays, they had 23 in 4 possessions. For Laguna Hills, they had 3 possessions, 29 plays, so that's pretty close right there. First downs, the Mustangs have 10, the Hawks have 11. We have an injured player on the field, and we'll try to get to his name and number in just a moment as we continue with the stats. The penalties, there were 7 penalties in all. The Mustangs were penalized 4 times for 30 yards. The Hawks were penalized 3 times for 10.5 yards. And of course, that half yard comes in as they got penalized half the distance to the goal line. Yards rushing for the Mustangs, mostly all by Clayton, 61. Yards total by the Mustangs. For the Hawks, 97 yards. Dave Weber's having a pretty good evening. Yards passing for Trabuco Hills, Patrick Barnes, 100 yards even. So credit that last drive as well. And Laguna Hills, they have a total of 41 yards passing. And total yards tonight for the Mustangs is 161. They have 1 turnover. And 41 yards for the Hawks. Their total yards is 132 tonight. Sacks give the Hawks 1. Time of possession, the Mustangs have 8:42 against the Hawks is 14:18. First down and 10. The injured player comes off the field as we begin the second half. 24 minutes to go to decide a champion here in South Orange County in Division 7 as Justin Vedder does a reverse to Sergio Jimenez. He slips a little bit, and he didn't touch that knee, Bill, and almost did a nice job putting his hand down.
Very acrobatic, and again, number 60, Roman Vasquez, the guard that pulls on those plays.
And finishing up the stats, the first half stats, as we take a look at that replay, Patrick Barnes was 7 of 9 for 1 touchdown. He rushed for his own touchdown and then scored another one on a pass. Justin Vedder was 6 of 11 and 2 touchdowns. And he rushed for 2 yards for 1 carry, and he's got 2 touchdown passes to Sergio Jimenez. So a closer game than the first time around as Dave Weber blasts up for a first down and more as he's still going. He's down to the 40 and down around the 36-yard line. And we do have an injured player, looks like number 95 for the Mustangs. Injured player on the field about the 34-yard line as Weber just crashes upside there, Bill, for the first down and more.
Watch him break this tackle by Chad Early and really pop out into the open. And you know, Darrell Royal, who was the coach at Texas many years ago, Paul, said that he said it wasn't grammatically correct, but he said, when you get to a game like this, you dance with the one that brung you. And by that, he's saying that, you know, if you've got a player that was significant in your offense or defense over the course of the year, make sure that you use that guy in a big game. Well, Dave Weber's having a tremendous night.
Injured player on the field. Looks like he's got some leg problems. I can't see his number. And we want to thank Neil Garber, our hot chocolate king, for bringing up our hot chocolate tonight. Number 85, it looks like it is for the Mustangs, Brad Cervantes, the tight end. And you'll see the replay
Weber
once again. Neil Garber, thank you very much again for the hot chocolate on a nice, cool evening here at Missions District Stadium. Touchdown saving tackle.
There's a great picture of Jay Herron, who is the activities director at Laguna Hills High School. And Jay, responsible for so many things tonight in this game. He's in charge of all the crowd control. He's in charge of making certain that everything goes well at the game. He's done a great job at Laguna Hills High School, and he and his lovely wife are moving on to Kentucky.
Wow.
In the not too distant future.
Well, you know what? He told me you got all his jokes, and you're stealing all his jokes now and telling them the whole world. Is that true?
Well,
is he the joke master?
You know, I wasn't going to really tell you much about his background and stuff, but he's been stealing my material for about 15 years.
You guys are stealing each other's material.
No, he's a great guy. Jim Healy is his idol in life.
First down 10. Weber gets the call again after he gets a breather as Cervantes gets off the field under his own legs, you could say. And second down and 8, 2 to go for 2 on the carry, pardon me.
Wayne McKaylian, the principal at Laguna Hills, told me the other night that he said, you know, of all the guys I know, Jay Herron is one of them.
We have a score, 14-14. The Hawks come out firing. Dave Weber gets a huge first down. A touchdown saving tackle was made by the Mustangs. Otherwise, Dave Weber would be on the sidelines celebrating a TD, and he gets down to the 20-yard line this time. He's coming out with a mission. He wants to win this game, and obviously Coach Steve Bresnahan said something to these young men at halftime.
Paul, you know, I'm not sure what it is tonight, but he looks quicker tonight than he has maybe in the times that we've seen him on TV, and I think that a great deal of his success obviously is due to the way those guys are blocking up front. Brubaker and Jimenez on the left-hand side of that line have done a great job off tackle, and Weber really doing the job.
Weber gets the call again for the 4th time, gets all the way down here, and every bit of those 5 yards down to the 15. So it'll be second down and 5 to go, 9:40 to go in the third quarter, and we're knotted at 14. Dave Weber really smashing it up.
Paul, again, for the people that ski, if you're not part of a ski club, now's the time. Ski and Stuff will help you organize a ski club. And to all you Booster Club people, Brian Danny at Ski and Stuff has some great innovative ideas about how to increase your fundraisers. So call Brian at Ski and Stuff.
Dave Weber gets inside the 10-yard line down to the 6-yard line. So Dave Weber again bursts his way on that right side, Bill, and we're going to get a chance here in the third quarter to see him how he works that right side as on our side of the cameras.
Notice that when he finally does meet the tacklers, it seems like the tacklers always end up going backwards. He's quite a force.
2 wide receivers on the left for Justin Vedder. Dave Weber in there as the lone setback. Somebody jumps on the line. It looks like the Mustangs might have jumped. And if it is, you'll hear a huge roar on this side.
Paul, we made reference to Ski and Stuff. Their number is 455-1553. And I know that as soon as it snows and you show me how to snowboard, well, I'm going to go visit those people. And
we'll go do
they have snowboards with training wheels?
Yeah, they're called your tail end and wear a nice big pad on your butt. Well, that goes against the Mustangs as we thought, Bill. First and goal now from the 4, probably about the 3.5, and this is where they want them.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say they're going to run Weber.
Okay. Dave Weber gets the call and gets a touchdown, but there's a flag on the play. They haven't singled the score even though he's in the end zone.
Paul, that was called by the umpire, and normally he calls holding, and that is what it is.
Holding call by the Hawks, but Bill, remember we've seen them before get pushed back because of a penalty, and then they came back and threw a strike to Sergio Jimenez?
You know, down there, when you're in the red zone, especially when you're down that close to the goal line, the most devastating thing that can happen to you is a personal foul or a holding penalty. And the ball has moved back 10 yards. The ball's now on the, about the 13-yard line. And they'll repeat first down. Now, you've got 4 cracks at it here. But I think what they probably talked about at halftime is, hey, we get the ball. Talking about Laguna Hills and Steve Bresnahan. Now, we get the ball at the start of the second half. Can we put together another one of those 10 or 12 play drives and chew up the clock and put another touchdown on the board?
Fake counter. Justin Vedder rolls to his left, throws it in the end zone, intercepted.
What a play by Chad Early. That's a big league play because he stepped in front of Ryan Geyer. And watch this interception.
Justin Vedder rolls to his left. Chad Early gets in there for a nice interception, stays in the end zone, so the ball will come out to the 20.
What a big turnover that is, because
Bill,
the
did
ball...
you know, it's almost like the Mustangs knew that they were going to go to Sergio Jimenez, the intended receiver.
Well, they're locked up in man-to-man coverage down there on the goal line. Anytime that quarterback bootlegs out, well, in this case, Chad Early's locked up on that tight end, and he followed him across the field and just really made a tremendous play.
Well, 33 seconds were left on the clock in the first half, and the Mustangs went the distance to score a touchdown and then a 2-point conversion. Let's see what they can do with a full 8 minutes on the clock as Cordell Graham gets knocked out of bounds about the 46-yard line. Patrick Barnes is looking like a real veteran out there playing that quarterback position.
You know, there are some little things that both Vedder and Barnes are doing now. Look at the depth of this drop. Look how deep he gets.
Looks to his left, knows he's going to his right the whole time, Bill. He sells it, goes to Cordell Graham. Cordell Graham holding that ball, a little flagrant there.
I tell you what, it's looking like a loaf of bread, and somebody might just take that right out of his hand.
That makes a first down and 10 with 8:30 to go here in the third quarter. Ball's on the 44. Barnes drops out, throws over to Bates, who picks up 2 on the carry before he's brought down by the whole left defensive side of the Hawks. And the Hawks wearing those yellow jerseys, Bill, the jerseys that got them in throughout the playoffs, and hey, they stay in with the good luck.
Yeah, they got those when they played Estancia in a must-win game, and you know, I don't think football coaches are superstitious, right?
You know it.
Those same pair of socks I wore for 10 games this year, but
when we get some time, we'll tell you all about the Mustangs and how they ended up in their 3rd CIF game in 4 years. Recap their year. 2nd down 7, pickup of 3 by Bates. Clayton gets the call. He gets 2 yards, and we'll kind of quickly go over the preseason of the Mustangs before this play. They lost their first game 22-3. And you remember we did that game with El Toro. And then the next game, they tied with Dana Hills. And then the Woodbridge beat them 37-27. We're talking about the Mustangs here in preseason. And then they came out against Corona Del Mar and got their offense rolling. They won 35-0. And then they lost to Villa Park 19-14. We'll tell you the rest in just a minute. Barnes fakes to the right side, goes down deep to the right side, intended for Bates. It falls incomplete. A nice play there. In league season, this is where the Mustangs turn it on, Bill, and this is where you got to turn it on. Of course, the first 5 games of the season, they're only preseason. As you watch that replay once again, Patrick Barnes led his team to a 34-13 win over Laguna Beach. And then, of course, they beat Laguna Hills 34-21. But on the game of the week, they lost to Estancia 20-17. And then they beat Century and Costa Mesa the final 2 games of the real season. 4th down and 4. They're going to punt the ball. And we can safely say that's an outstanding punt and a fair catch made there by the Hawks, as the ball will be on the 18-yard line. And Bill, in the playoffs, it's been pretty much of an easy road for both these teams. Trabuco Hills beat St. Francis 42-21. Then they knocked off Aurora Grande 26-10. And the week prior to this game, as you see the CIF banner, they knocked off La Mirada 24-20. You look at the other side, Laguna Hills, they had a real easy go of it. They beat El Segundo 38-6, Temple City 31-17, and Rigetti 34-7, as we saw. 14-14, first down and 10. Dave Weber, can he squeak through all the way? He's on the 50, he's across the 50, down on the 43-yard line.
Paul, this guy is running with such great purpose. I would really be curious to know what his totals are up to this point in time, but you know what? We watch him break through here. Watch him apply the straight arm here. Kind of a lost art in football, but he knows how to do it.
Matt Reckner makes the touchdown saving tackle.
As great a night as Weber's having, I'm certain if you asked him right now, you know what he'd tell you? It's those 5 guys in front of me that are doing all the work.
You bet. First down 10, blowing the holes up the middle. Weber gets the carry again, bounces outside. And this is what we're talking about, the second and the third and the fourth effort that he puts in to every single run. There's not a run tonight that he has stopped on, Bill.
You know, he does remind me of a young man that's down there on the sideline, Marwan Saba. Marwan's been here every week. He's such a great, loyal guy supporting his team. And they're the same kind of guys, you know, high character. You know, I went and watched practice, I told you, during the week, and Dave doesn't say much. All he does is play every play, and he plays it hard. And I'm certain that Coach Bresnan would tell you he's just a delight to coach.
Dave Weber's been the main man in the second half, even though no points have been put on the board. He gets another first down as we are tied up at 14 in the CIF Championship game. And you got to credit the starting offensive line for the Hawks tonight. And of course, we've got at right guard Sam Steinberg, Andy Jacobs at right tackle. At left tackle, Ryan Brubaker, Roman Vasquez, the left guard. In the center is Chris Bevins. And those guys up front, Bill, are the ones that are blowing the holes. Really, really big for Dave Weber. And of course, Dave Weber's doing a lot by himself as well.
Ryan Geyer and Sergio Jimenez kind of bookend that group in the middle.
And there you see it right there. You're talking about it. On that right side, they blow up the left side of the defense for the Mustangs.
You know, Paul, people in the stands might look down there and say, you know, this young man has carried the ball so many times. Is he getting tired? No. As a running back in a situation like this, your adrenaline starts to flow. And, boy, in the huddle, you're saying, hey, keep calling my number because it's only going to get better.
You bet. Second down 5. He picked up 5 on that first down carry. Dave Weber. Justin Vedder is the quarterback tonight, only a sophomore. Hands off again. The guys that got to be getting tired, Bill, are the defensive front for the Mustangs.
Exactly, Paul. That's a good observation because if you're kind of aware of what happens during a football game like that, the offensive guys, when they come out, a lot of it's mental because they know exactly where they're going and what they're going to do. Defensively, you know, it tires you out to play every down, but you know, every down on defense is hit and react, hit and react. You've got to find the ball, and not only the physical part of it, but the mental part of it can tire you out.
Third down 3, 4:06 left here in the third quarter. Dave Weber, guess what? He picks up another first down. He's picked up 3 first downs here on this drive alone. He's got the dirty white pants on now, and he's got that jersey that's getting a little bit torn, a little bit split up, as you see the Ayler Insurance replay here. Of course, they're giving us the replay machine tonight. Ayler Insurance.
Remember that that's 581-2333. They're located on El Toro Road in El Toro. And boy, again, our thanks to Ayler Insurance for providing us with this great tool.
First down 10, 3:43 to go in the third. Handoff to who else? You guys can call the play yourself. Dave Weber gets it on the right side, and on the left side of the Hawks, or on the left side of the Mustangs defense.
Now, last time, Paul, when they got down here, you know, Weber scored the touchdown, but they had the penalty for holding. They did go the bootleg pass. I think Trabuco Hills is now doing a very good job defending the bootleg pass. What I think you might see is that play where the tight end crosses underneath, going back against the flow of the play. That was open the last time they ran it.
5 freeway south, you see the oncoming traffic, and right here, this is the oncoming traffic as Dave Weber crashes over for 3 more yards as the initial hit on the play was made by 55, John Pugh. And one thing, Bill, has been for sure is that we haven't singled out really any particular player on the Mustangs defense tonight because it's taken 4 or 5 guys to bring down Dave Weber in the backfield.
That's right. I would say the standout so far for Trabuco Hills on defense has been Chad Early.
Yeah.
And, also Miller, the inside linebacker, does a good job.
3rd down, 3 to go for first. Weber gets the call off the left tackle. He's trying to get through, and he does. He gets down to the 5. Give him another first down. 4 first downs for the young man on this drive alone.
Paul, about 80% of that was individual effort. Watch this play. There's Roman Vasquez out in front to make the block, but Weber gets hit once, twice.
He's
keeps
still
turning
spinning.
and twisting. Tell you what, that is some determination.
We're seeing right now that this guy wants to play college ball, and if there's any scouts out here looking at him, they know that he's one of those guys that giving it his all, and he's doing it. 1st down, 10. Dave Weber gets the carry again. No, they fake it to Justin Vedder. Justin Vedder gets down to the goal line. Touchdown.
What a call by Steve Bresnahan. And the first guy over there to congratulate him is Weber. And Weber was wearing him out inside. Watch this, the dive fake. Great dive fake by Weber. And here comes Vedder out on the corner. And watch this effort as he gets near the goal line to get the ball into the end zone.
Justin Vedder sold that play all the way, Bill. What a great play-action fake that was. That makes the score 20-14 as Higgins will attempt the PAT.
Paul, I'm not sure there's an inch difference between these two teams.
The kick, it's up. It's good. So the Hawks come out firing. Check it out. There's only 1:45 left in the 3rd quarter. They have a 21-14 lead. You are watching the CIF Division 7 Championship game here on Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion. We're happy to bring it to you here, coming to you from Missions District Stadium.
Do you love golf? Everything a golfer could need is at Golf USA on Greenfield in Crown Valley. The widest selection of clubs, balls, and bags, with an expert staff to assist you in everything from picking a hat to improving your game. Say you saw this commercial and try out the Swing Tech Swing Analyzer. From the touring professional to the novice golfer, everything is in one place. Golf USA, America's golf store.
We had a feeling this game was going to be close as you're looking at some of the traffic coming down the 5 freeway. We're at Missions District Stadium for the Division 7 CIF Championship game. The Hawks have taken a 21-14 lead. Justin Vedder got the touchdown, but credit Dave Weber with the drive in the front line.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what, that was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive ball control football by Steve Bresnahan's Laguna Hills Hawks. Now, get ready for the next part of the show. Pat Barnes is warming up on the sideline, and I tell you, this could go down to the final play of the game.
Oh, you bet. A squib kick off the shoulder pad of Bates. He picks it up. Oh, a nice tackle, flinging tackle by number 24, Dan Siska. Did a great job. That makes my hands sore just watching him do that here in the cold temperatures.
It's kind of Greco-Roman wrestling,
yeah.
isn't it? It's
21-14. Check out this great tackle as Bates gets the ball off his shoulder pad, takes that funny shortstop hop there, of course on some turf that's pretty torn up here at Missions District Stadium. Then Dan Siska comes in, grabs him from behind, strong enough to hold on to him, and whips him down. Pass play out to Cordell Graham falls incomplete, so that will bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Paul, I think this is a critical series for Trabuco Hills because they have got to answer that touchdown. Not necessarily score on this drive, but I think it's critical that they move the ball. If they go 3 and out here and Laguna Hills gets the ball back, I think you're going to see the Weber drum and bugle corps going down the field again.
And they'll burn up a whole lot of time on the clock. 21-14 the score is. The Hawks have the 7-point advantage as Tino and Cordell Graham go wide to the near side of our field. Nobody out there on the far right. There is now, though, as Bates catches the ball, does a half a 360, and gets out of bounds across the 45-yard line.
That's a big play because that ensures now that they'll keep the ball. You know, sometimes that is the most difficult thing after the other team scores, just getting a first down. You know, don't go out there and if you can possibly help it, go 3 plays and out, have your defense have to trudge back out on the field again. You got to give these guys a break a little bit now.
As you see the replay, the 180 turn by Bates, and he gets knocked out of bounds on the 40. Back to live action, and a nice catch by Tino. Tino still going. He's down to the 32-yard line, so he learned something from Dave Weber, keeping that shoulder down and getting ahead for some more yards.
Paul, you just can't throw it any better than this. I mean, Tino ran that little slant route, and Patrick hit him right between the 1 and the 3.
Bill, so far, these quarterbacks are playing a flawless game. Is it going to come down to maybe an interception, you think, like we just saw in the end zone a few minutes ago?
Either that or somebody's going to throw a touchdown pass to win the game. I think that, I'll tell you what, maybe because I coach quarterbacks and stuff, but I just get such a kick out of watching these two guys as they have developed over the year.
21-14, Barnes drops back, throws it deep, intended for Chad Early. Of course, Chad Early is the guy that made the interception in the end zone, so he knows how to catch the ball.
I think that both of these coaching staffs have to be commended on the steady improvement that their entire teams have made through the course of this season. But
course of this game as well.
Sure, Steve Bresnahan and Jim Barnett in particular about how they've handled their quarterbacks. And I know Randy Brewer coaches or helps with the quarterbacks there at Trabuco Hills, and he's going to be the baseball coach.
That's right, he sure is.
He's got to be excited. I'm sure that he'll do great things for the Mustangs.
Second down 2, Barnes drops back. He's being wrapped up, still gets it away. Intended for Gibson Gomez, broken up there by number 60, Roman Vasquez. And you got to know that Patrick Barnes is a tall gentleman because he was being wrapped up from the ankles and he didn't really care. He still threw that ball.
It sure helps when you're 6'3" and about 195 pounds. And I walked by Pat out there. I think he was 6'3" when the season started. I think he's 6'4" now.
Delightful young man as well. As we had him on Coach's Corner.
John and Colleen Barnes, his parents, just really terrific people. I just would not want their food bill.
Third down, 10. 2 wide receivers out there on the right side. Gibson Gomez playing the tight end position. Clayton out there to block. Barnes is going to try to get out there by himself, and he gets pretty close to a first down. Goes heads up with the defender, maybe out about 6 inches before, and he took a pretty good shot by Sergio Jimenez.
You know, one of the things that Pat will develop as he continues as a quarterback is here you watch him on the sprint out. His head is upfield, and he now turns the speed on. He'll learn that if he can keep the speed of his sprint out at a little bit faster pace while he's looking downfield, that decision about the runner pass is going to be easier to make. And I'll tell you what, as big as he is, those corners are probably hoping he throws it.
Well, he heads with Sergio Jimenez, 4th down 1. Then they had words afterwards. 4th down. 1 to go. A keeper. Barnes stands it straight up, gets across the 20 for the first down.
Paul, if he falls down, it's a first down. You know, if he
almost in slow motion there.
That's right.
So with 20 seconds left,
if he falls forward, it's a first down.
Nice gesture there by the Hawks and the Mustangs. First down 10. That should be the final play of the third quarter, as time will run out on the clock before the Mustangs can get the ball off. 21-14 it is, and we'll see if they can get it off before 5 seconds ticks off the clock. And that's the end of the third quarter, as the Mustangs are threatening. They're in the red zone. They're down by 7, 21-14.
Have you ever tasted real New York style pizza? Then come on in to New York's Upper Crust Pizza on Greenfield in Laguna Niguel, across from the movie theaters. Upper Crust is authentic New York pizza that uses only fresh ingredients and age-old recipes. Come on in and taste a slice of the East Coast. New York calzone, stromboli, spinach bread, sausage roll, Sicilian and thin crust style pizza that's guaranteed to make your mouth water. That's New York's upper crust pizza, across from the theaters, 831-4300. No accent required.
Patrick Barnes rolling to his right. The Mustangs are down by 7. We're getting ready to start the fourth quarter. He hit heads right here with Sergio Jimenez, and this gave them pretty close to that first down. As we come back to live action, 21-14 on the ground. We've got Clayton taking the first carry in the fourth quarter. He's uplifted there by number 40 for the Hawks, Fred Kim.
I get the feeling that if Mark Clayton were in the Laguna Hills offense, he could do the same things that Dave Weber does. They use him in a variety of ways at Trabuco Hills and Jim Barnett's offense, but boy, you can see when he runs the ball, he is a load to tackle.
Two wide receivers out there on the left. Jeff Clayton in the backfield. We've got some movement, and it looks like it will be against the Hawks as the Mustangs were starting to adjust, and then the Hawks reacted. So it'll be 5 yards. Wouldn't this be something, Bill? 21-21 at the end of the game. We go into that sudden death, and I always think back that El Toro Mission game that we did.
They won't have it in this game. If it ends in a tie, it'll be a tie.
Oh, they do that.
And I'll tell you why and how it happened right after this play. Tell you why that CIF games in the finals don't have tiebreakers. We'll talk about it in just a second.
21-14. 11:27 left. The Hawks have a lead. Clayton has the ball. He's inside the 5, and he's brought down on the 3 by number 60 for Laguna Hills, Roman Vasquez.
Paul, about 7 years ago, oh, maybe 8 years ago, El Medina and Foothill High Schools played to a 3 overtime game at Anaheim Stadium. Foothill High School finally won the game. Two great coaches, Ted Mullen at Foothill and Bob Lester at El Medina. And that's a game where there really shouldn't have been a loser.
Yeah.
And after that game was over, the CIF, probably advised by both Ted and Bob, decided that in the finals, if it's a tie, it's a co-championship.
Second down, 4 to go for the touchdown. Patrick Barnes is your quarterback for the Mustangs. He rolls out, hands off to Clayton. Clayton's got a wide open touchdown, Mustangs.
Paul, that's a BYU play. That is trap draw. And the line blocks it as a trap. The guard will pull and kick out. And here comes Clayton. They actually run it almost as a counter because Gibson Gomez also was on the move that time. And Clayton almost walked into the end zone.
No question here. He's going to go for the 1 point, Bill. 21-20. The Mustangs are down by a point. The snap, the kick. And it's good. So once again, we have a tie game. We were tied at halftime. We're tied here in the fourth quarter, 21-21. 10:36 left to go in this CIF Championship battle. It can end in a tie. We'll be back. If you're a fan of football, this is the game you're going to want to see. I believe high school sports is the best thing to watch in all sports. The game right now, 21-21, tied up with 10:36 left. This is for all the marbles, folks. These guys have worked 14 weeks during the regular season to get to this point in time. The Hawks and the Mustangs are tied up for this CIF Championship battle. The kickoff is taken on the 15-yard line by number 40, Fred Kim. Fred Kim has some room, one of the smallest players on the field, gets across the 35 to the 36. Talking small, he's 5'9", 160 pounds, and he's every bit of heart as he is size.
Did you see who made the key block in that return? A guy named Weber.
Dave Weber. So, Bill, they work 14 weeks throughout games to get here. They work an easy 10 weeks before that, on and off again, in the summer and the spring. Boy, they've got their work cut out for them. And you know what I was thinking? For these guys, this makes the school year pretty short after this because they're already in December.
Absolutely. And how about the guys that go into wrestling and basketball? Right. They start tomorrow.
First down 10, the Hawks giving it to Dave Weber. Dave Weber explodes up the middle. For Bill, guess what? Another first down.
Well, you know, the guys that work on the defensive side at Trabuco Hills, Andy Anderson, I don't think he ever gets enough credit. I think Andy's done a great job there for a long time. Bill Crow, all those guys on defense, you've got to find a way to stop this off-tackle play, either by slanting your linemen or perhaps by blitzing. You've got to find a way to stop Weber because right now he's the show.
He's easily got pretty close to 100 yards in this first half. He'll easily go over 200 yards as the play fake there.
Blocking here.
Sergio Jimenez on the reverse, goes around the right side. He's got some room. One man left. He gets knocked out of bounds inside the 15.
A great example, too, of good play calling by Steve Bresnahan. Everybody's following Weber, and they run that reverse again to the tight end. They ran it early in the game, and here it comes. Here comes Roman Vasquez. Good block by Vasquez out in front. Now watch Sergio turn it on.
He faked this out a little bit. Nice play there by Justin Vedder and Dave Weber, and now Sergio Jimenez. We were talking about it preceding the second quarter, Bill. We noticed that they were using Jimenez and Weber, and now here we are with 9:31 left in the game, and they're still going back to their tank, back to those two guys. We have an injured player.
Game, if you paid to get into this one, you got your money's worth, and the game's not over yet. How exciting. This is a kind of a game, too, that if you are a resident of this valley and perhaps you just read about these youngsters and you came out to see this game tonight, you haven't seen anything, this might sell you on high school football.
Oh, it sells me. 21-21. I was sold a long time ago here on Athletes in Motion and Dimension Sports. We've got a timeout on the field with an injured player. 9:31 left. We'll be back right after this. The Kind Tickets, located in South Orange County, is proud to serve you in all your special event needs. Why wait in line for overpriced seats when you can use the Kind Tickets? We always have the first 10 rows, and they're available over the phone. Use your major credit card to reserve tickets today. Available now, Queen's Wright, Paul Abdul, Barry Manilow, Jethro Tull, and Phantom of the Opera. Coming soon, U2, Prince, Metallica, John Cougar Mellencamp, Bruce Springsteen, and Bryan Adams. Sporting events include tickets for the Super Bowl, the Rose Bowl, Rams, Raiders, Chargers, Kings, Lakers, and Clippers. Also, gift certificates are available for Christmas. Call 588-9100.
Turn it on.
We try to have set plays that will take advantage of a team's weakness or our strength.
These are a group of individuals that have been together for a long time. When you get there, it's a whole different story. You have to work really hard.
And our passing was a little bit off, and it made me work a little bit harder to get to the ball. And
Coach's Corner, the inside advantage to local sports. Every night at 7:30 on Dimension 3.
Welcome back, 21-21, 9:31 left in this game. Dave Weber gets the call. He blasts across the 10-yard line inside the 10. Another great run by Dave Weber, and almost another first down. He's averaging about 8-9 yards a carry.
Just a superior block at the point of attack by two people, by Roman Vasquez and Ryan Brubaker. Watch this. Oh, look at the wall.
Sergio Jimenez also in there getting a good block.
Sergio did a great job, too. And
Cordell Graham in there on the tackle to finalize it. Second down and 1, gain of 9. So give him 9-10 average every time he touches the ball, Dave Weber. Counterplay to Weber. Weber gets 2. Bill, we've got 8:49 left in the game. Does he ever tire out? Do you get tired?
No, I think the great running backs on every level of football would probably tell you the same thing, and that is the more they carry the ball, the more they get into a rhythm. And right now, I'm sure if he stopped at this moment, went home, went to sleep, he'd wake up tomorrow and feel all the bumps and bruises. Right now, he doesn't feel anything except give me the ball and let me go.
Two wide receivers on the near side of the field. Nobody out there on the right. Dave Weber in the backfield. Justin Vedder, the quarterback, hands off to Dave Weber. He's looking for a hole. He bounces off one tackle. He's brought down on the 7-yard line. And you know who Dave Weber's kind of reminding me of? Those guys in the pros like Walter Payton and O.J. Simpson, that the more they got the ball, the better they got and the more yards they gained.
You know, in a huddle, too, some of those guys don't say much. They'll get in the huddle and just kind of take their rest and go carry the ball. Other times, you know, it's kind of neat if you're an offensive lineman to hear that guy say, hey, guys, you block them and we'll get it in the end zone. And I get the feeling that with these guys, Weber probably doesn't talk a lot. You maybe just look in his eyes and you can tell.
Second down, 4 to go. Weber, touchdown, Hawks.
Boy, Paul, the middle of that offensive line just blew Trabuco Hills back off the ball. And, you know, I get a feeling it's whoever has it last in this game.
There it is. Dave Weber, no question about it, crashes in for the touchdown. We've got a score of 27-21. The Hawks are up by 6 as they get ready to kick the PAT as they are going crazy.
Paul, this is a great crowd. The side that we're on over here is filled from side to side. The Trabuco Hills side about the same way.
The kick, it's up, it's good. The Hawks have gone 79 yards, 28-21. They have the lead with 7:47. Can I tell you any more? We're watching great high school football here in Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion. Stick around and come back and see what it's all about. We'll be back after this.
Parents, does your athlete desire to continue his or her athletic career on the college level? Athletes for College is a promotion and marketing service for high school athletes in all sports. This is a reliable method for achieving high visibility among college coaches. Why wait? Let Athletes for College develop a personalized promotion program that can achieve maximum exposure to college opportunities. Call now for more information. 714-348-9410. That's 348-9410. Athletes for College.
Here is the go-ahead touchdown with 7:47 left. Dave Weber, he should be over 200 yards in this game. Crashes in for the touchdown. That makes it 28-21. The Mustangs were favored by a touchdown. Right now, they're down by a touchdown. But Patrick Barnes doesn't have his hands on the football yet, Bill.
Just wait. All right, you know, 7:47 left in the game. Time is now really a factor. Trabuco Hills has to come back with an answer probably on this next series.
Okay, good field position as it's picked up on the 30-yard line.
Paul, there's the problem with the squib kick is you've given Patrick Barnes about half of a field to work on here.
Andy Abel takes it out to the 44-yard line. Gains 14 yards, as you see on the replay build. The squib kick, as you're talking about, picks it up on the 29. And Andy Abel does a nice job of changing hands there with the football. And that's pretty good concentration for that young man. Here we go. We've got something weird going on, as Coach Barnett is known for that, as he kind of adjusts his players coming out of the huddle. Then they get back to the norm, as Clayton is in the backfield. Tino on the near side, the only wide receiver. Barnes rolls out, 4-step drop, rolls to his left. He's got plenty of room to run it if he wants. Cordell Graham is wide open now. He missed him as he runs out of bounds, but you know what? He might come back to that and see Cordell Graham open out there in the flat. As he started to sell the run, he sold it enough. Maybe next time you flip it off to Cordell Graham.
Defensively right now, if you're Laguna Hills, you not only have to defend those receivers and you have to defend Clayton, but if you let Patrick Barnes out of the pocket, you're not doing yourself any favors, because when he breaks contain and gets outside, he's a threat. We saw him go 46 yards earlier this season on a touchdown scamper.
second down, 7 to go, pickup of 3. Clayton takes the ball on the pitch. Clayton has some room. He'll get a first down and more. He's still going. He's down inside the 30-yard line. Fumble on the play. It's still going. Picked up by the Mustangs.
I'll tell you
Unbelievable.
What, this game has a little bit of everything, Paul. And you know, perhaps the thing that really sets the tone for this is it's two great teams playing, two well-coached teams, and it's an extremely clean football game.
And you see Jeff Clayton explode up the left side. He's still going. The only reason he fumbled the ball is because he was given that extra effort carrying it on the right side. On that type of thing, you would want to carry it on the left side. Bill, is that correct?
Here it is. It's
Jason Tino comes up with it.
Flopping around on the ground, and here we go again.
Jason Tino was there, and then recovered by another Mustang. Outside to Bates, and he's knocked out of bounds inside the 20. So we have 6:37 to go. The Mustangs are down by a touchdown and a PAT, 28-21.
Trabuco Hills has done a fine job tonight of containing Greg DeFelice. You know, we've called his name every week we've had the Hawks on television, and they know how good he is, and they've done a nice job of keeping him near the line of scrimmage.
Bill, this brings up a 2nd down and 3. Pickup of 7 on that first down carry. Clayton back there catching his breath. 2 wide receivers on the near side. It's a pitch to Clayton. He'll pick up the first down. That's a given. He's got a touchdown, Jeff Clayton. Unbelievable. Just an incredible football game.
Now, Paul, it's still too early, I think, to go for 2.
Jeff Clayton gets out the left side. Nobody touched him. He strides in, puts up that number 1 sign for the touchdown.
Look at the stride on that young man. I mean, he really does move up the field. Okay, 6:32 left, so you do go for the single point right here. Now, I'll tell you what, this is critical here. Laguna Hills had to call a timeout. And how critical
Spalding was going crazy on the sideline.
How critical will that be if they need that later in the game?
As Coach Jim Barnett runs out on the field, and Jim Barnett's been here. Bill, we've got experience here. This is the 3rd time that Jim Barnett has been in a CIF final. None of the other kids on the field have been in any finals on football, but your school has been there. Of course, the Hawks have never been there. And now, what are you looking at? Does that experience pay off at the end? I know with the Mustangs, they easily won their 2 championship games, but now you're looking at a different situation.
I think now experience may have been something you talk about coming into the game. Both of these teams have shown that they deserve to be here. So the experience factor, that might have gone by the boards already. They are going to, it looks like anyhow, they're going to just kick this. There's 6:32 left in the game. The rule of thumb for trying to win a game with a 2-point conversion, at least the one we use at Saddleback, is anything under 3 minutes that you'd probably go for 2 because you're probably not going to get the ball back again. But remember this, they don't really need to win this game to be a CIF champion. If they tie the game, then both of the teams are CIF champions, and I tell you, I couldn't think of anything more fitting for this game.
And I'll tell you who else is a CIF champion, and a champion in my mind, is all the fans that came out here tonight to support these 2 teams. The gate receipts and our TV rights go back to the schools, and they're doing a great job tonight. We're happy to have everybody here. And you folks out there watching the game of the week, next time, come out and support these kids. The kick is up, and it's good. We're tied once again, 28-28, 6:32 to go. We'll have more of the best high school football in Southern California right here on Channel 3. Hey everyone, let's go skiing. Each Tuesday and Thursday, join me, Paul Higgins, on Newswatch 56 for up-to-date local and national ski reports. If it's fresh powder, I'll tell you about it. So find out first on Newswatch 56 with me, Paul Higgins, each Tuesday and Thursday at 9 o'clock. Talking about a fantastic football game, I'll tell you about a fantastic crew. Our director tonight is Todd Stars. Our camera operators, Gary Gresovic, Juan Cajigas, and Sean Fairburn. our statistician tonight, Sean Higgins, our Chiron operator, Bobby Stout, and our slow motion operator, Vince D'Amore, also the director of Coach's Corner, seen every night on Channel 3 at 7:30. What a great job you guys and gals are doing out there. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Of course, I'm Paul Higgins, along with Coach Bill Cunity, the Simple Green Orange County Junior College Bowl champion here. Glad to have you, Bill, and what a great game we're watching.
Watch the onside kick here, Paul.
And they do. Relying on some defense, touched by the Hawks, recovered by the Mustangs. The ball did not go 10 yards, but it was still touched by a Hawk.
That's exactly right, Paul. If the ball does not go 10 yards, you'd really like for your guys to stay away from it.
They gave it to the Hawks.
Oh, somebody
Turn
down
of
there.
events. You'll see it on the replay, Bill. Somebody came down with it. In my eyes, it looked like the Mustangs had it. The Mustangs are going nuts on the sidelines, and they're going to give it to the Hawks. So somebody squirmed in there and picked it up. Tough to see from the angle we had.
How big is that? Now, I'll tell you what, that's a gutsy call by Jim Barnett, because if it doesn't work, you're giving Laguna Hills awfully good field position.
35 yards.
But you know what? I just like the way Jim coaches. I think that's give your guys a chance to win the game. And he does that in every game that he's coached, and he does a great job.
Dave Weber gets the call. He picks up some more yards. Cordell Graham is helping out on the tackle along with number 36 for Dave Carrero. The strong safety had to come up, and that's what we've been seeing a lot of, Bill. The strong safeties, the cornerbacks, the free safeties coming up and having to stop Dave Weber.
Well, that's why play action could be good soon, because the names that you're calling making tackles are safeties and corners.
Split wide receivers for the Hawks. 2nd down, 4 to go. Weber picks up 6 on the 1st down carry. Fumble on the play, and it looks like the Hawks get it back.
Ooh, that's a big play. I think you almost knocked Gary, our cameraman, over with that. Fumble on the play.
And all the people in the truck, as you see the fumble. Justin Vedder never got the snap.
That's when your heart, as a coach, calling plays up here on top of your heart, goes right to your throat when that happens.
28-28, CIF football. They've got 35,000 at Anaheim Stadium. We've got about 6. I bet you we're seeing a better game. Weber gets the 1st down.
Boy, is he something. I'll tell you what, Trabuco Hills was in that real tight 4-3 on defense, which really should cover every gap, but the offensive line got off and created just a little bit of a crack, and that's all he needs. You know, we have seen 2 really terrific running backs tonight. Clayton running the ball for Trabuco Hills, and here it is on the replay. Dave Weber again just searches out that little opening and gets the 1st down.
Chris Badecker, ride to the right. Weber gets the call. Weber's got some room. He's down to the 25-yard line, tackled by Cordell Graham and also number 36, and that's Dave Carrero.
That is a nice open field tackle by Cordell Graham, or Weber's gone. He's having a night that you could only dream about in terms of yardage.
You saw the scoreboard. That tells the story. 28-28. Who would have ever thought we would have this many points put up on the board? 2 wide receivers out on the right. Dave Weber, the man in the backfield. Offsides by the Mustangs, so it will be a 1st down automatic.
You know that staccato count, the hard count, soft count, cadence is something that for some teams is kind of a forgotten thing. You know, they say, well, we're going 1 all the time. But Justin Vedder doing a nice job of changing up the snap count. And it takes a little discipline, Paul, to go on 1 or 2 or 3, because in addition to your assignment, you've also got to remember the snap count and make it something that few teams do well.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 28-28. The Hawks don't want to score too quickly, as Patrick Barnes only took 33 seconds before the half to score a touchdown. They jump once again.
Paul, all you got to do is watch Justin Vedder's head. Watch him as he barks out the snap count. And that defensive line, obviously, they're saying, look, the only way we can get to Weber is to get off the ball quickly.
Bill, I think we've congratulated everybody tonight in order, but some guys out there working on the field that we haven't talked about that's doing an outstanding job is the referees, and obviously they're making some pretty good calls.
You know why they're good? Because right now they're anonymous. They're an excellent crew, and if you don't think about them, they're doing a great job.
28-28, first down 5. Weber gets the call. A good tackle put on by the Mustangs. Looking at number 51, and also
Corey Miller. Nice play.
Corey Miller. And Tim Black in there also. That's the second man I was looking for. Again, you're watching the CIF final championship game here in Division 7 between the Hawks of Laguna Hills and the Mustangs of Trabuco. We have a score of 28-28. Right down, 3 minutes and 1 second left in this contest.
I think they're well within range of Devin Higgins right now, too.
Weber gets the call. You know, it's so funny, Bill, I didn't even think about a field goal because we've seen so many touchdowns tonight that no one's been really thinking about field goals tonight so far. You haven't needed to.
Okay, this ball is going to be marked just shy of the 10-yard line, so it's going to be third down and about a yard. Okay, Paul, here's the scenario. This is like a Robert Ludlum novel here, right? Laguna Hills, say they score here in this drive, and you've got a minute and a half or so left. That's enough time for Pat Barnes. What a treat of a football game this is.
2:25 left in the contest. Weber gets the call and gets the first down, so they'll have a whole set of downs to work with 2:17 to go. And the Hawks sidelines and the Hawks fans are all standing. They can sense it. Every time the Hawks have had the ball here in the second half, I believe they have scored.
You know, I think maybe the football purists love to see a 14-13 or 7-6 game. I think the fans like to see something like this.
That's right. 28-28. Doesn't get any better than this. Dave Weber gets the call. Dave Weber, touchdown, Hawks!
I'll tell you, just outstanding blocking at the point of attack by Jimenez, Brubaker, Vasquez. And there's that guy Weber again.
34-28, 1:53 to go on the clock in the final fourth quarter of play. And you know what? We're going to see how many tricks Coach Barnett can pull out of his hat in the next minute and 53 seconds. Stay up late with us, folks, and watch the end of this contest. It's not over yet. The PAT is up. No question about it. It is good. The Hawks have come back. They scored 21 points here in the final half of football after a long 14 weeks. We've got a great contest going, 35-28, the CIF Finals on Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion.
I was the first child. Whenever I dropped my baby bottle, my mother sterilized it. One sneeze was positive proof that I had pneumonia. I was determined that when I grew up, I wouldn't worry like my parents did. But I do. So I joined FHP too.
For 30 years, FHP Healthcare has been making it easy and inexpensive to see our doctors. Because we think the best time to catch problems is when they're little.
A special thanks tonight to Adler Insurance Agency for our slow motion replay. They specialize in group health, business packages, workers' compensation, commercial auto, and bonding. They have brought you exciting footage on our slow motion replay machine, and thank you to those people over there. Please give them a call. 35-28, the final minute, 53 to go. The Mustangs are down by a touchdown. Jeff Clayton has the ball. So Patrick Barnes, Coach Jim Barnett, might have his last look at their offensive unit as they get the ball on the 26-yard line.
Well, you know, they've got the design to make this work, too. They've got a good offensive design, and it's built for this kind of situation. This was a nice kick by Higgins all the way down to about the 8-yard line. And Clayton returns it. Ball just over the 25-yard line.
Here we go, 35-28, minute 37 to go, and the clock is running. 3 wide receivers, 2 on the near side, 1 way out there on the left. Patrick Barnes drops back, he's gonna run it. He's gotta get out of bounds, and he does on the 36-yard line and jumps over the bench as well. Tell me he's not a great athlete at 6'3", 6'4".
That scared me a little bit right there, because that's a place where you can really get hurt. There's a cement pad down there that he stepped on, and then he went across and over the back of the bench. Wow, glad he didn't get hurt there.
And we will stay with you at the end of the game to watch these young men get their CIF Championship trophy.
Paul, they're going to bring this over and measure this right now.
That gives them a chance to talk on the sidelines, Bill.
Sure. Gives a little. Oh, that was real good.
The chain gang would wiped out on the top of your screen. The chain gang wiped out one of the Mustangs players running off the field. Second down. Might be a first if they call it.
Paul, would that have been tragic if little Matt Reckner would have been... He's feeling his ankle right now. He gets tripped and upended by the chain gang.
Of course, it was totally unintentional.
Sure.
We've got a great game here tonight, folks, bringing to you on Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion, Channel 3 at its best. Thank Leo Brennan over at Dimension Cable for doing these games tonight. And you can see some of the people way out in the fences watching this game. And this is what it's all about. This is high school football at its best, boy.
Paul, the announcer just said for all the people to be sure and stay off the field after the game so they can have the awards. Right.
Second down, it is. Second down, 1 to go. Patrick Barnes on the keeper. Picked up 9. 1:23 left in the contest. Barnes looking to get away. He's going to run it again. He's going to get knocked out of bounds. Looking for a flag. No flag on the play. 44-yard line. Patrick Barnes gets knocked out of bounds.
If there are any spectators on the field after the game, we will hold Jay Heron personally responsible.
Looking at Marty Spalding, and watch the poise and concentration of Patrick Barnes as he gets away from his tackler. Great blocking there by Gibson Gomez as well. Barnes rolls to his right. Kind of questionable. That might have been a late hit there as he was going out of bounds.
I don't know. It's hard to stop your momentum when you're trying to cut that guy off.
Especially in a CIF championship game. Barnes throws it deep. And this one's going to fall incomplete. Intended for Bates. So we've got a second down in 10 to go. First down doesn't mean anything right now. 1:11 to go in this contest. And we've got an injured player of a Hawk way out there on the 25-yard line as they fell on each other, Bill, when they went out of bounds. You hate to see that right now at this point in the game. I'm not sure who was defending, and the Hawks trainers had to run it all the way across the field to pick him up. As Marty Spalding talks to his unit, his defensive unit, Marty Spalding's got to be a happy man right about now, coming over from El Toro, and he's still coaching 14 weeks into the season, and that guy could be a head coach anywhere he would like to be a head coach.
I'll tell you what, he's a very special man. His players always play hard. Now this is unfortunate because the injured player is Sergio Jimenez, and you know, you hate to see this in the very last minutes of a game like this, but if you are Trabuco Hills and you've got the ball, you better go at the guy that replaces him.
Sure. Sergio Jimenez, he's probably through for the night. What a great game. He's had 2 touchdowns on the night. Great defensive game. No question about it, an outstanding offensive game. You know, if for him, it would be nice to see him be able to watch this final couple minutes standing up, but he's sitting on the bench right now. First down, actually second down, 10 for Patrick Barnes and the Mustangs.
Watch out for Clayton on the back door of this thing. Here comes the screen to Clayton. There it is.
Set it up, and right there, for the Hawks is number 63, Rafer Kingston. Our Athletes in Motion Grow Right Athlete of the Week, the second week of the year. What a big play as there's a timeout on the field, and you can see the replay as Kingston stays home on the screenplay. On the little draw they set up. And watch Clayton, he's kind of fades out, Bill.
They set it up correctly. It's just a great play by Rafer Kingston to stay home, and that's right. Third down, and this is big now because it's third down, and it's got to be about 3rd and 16. And you've got 2 plays to get that first down, or Laguna Hills is going to own the CIF Championship.
And Trabuco Hills, they've never lost in a CIF Championship game. They're 2-0. This is their 3rd one at the Mustangs school. Of course, the yellow jerseys, boy, they've been pretty good luck. You think next year they'll hold on to those? 35-28.
Sergio is gonna, they put a little tape on his ankle. Hey, this is a crowd pleaser here. Sergio got up and ran a few wind sprints with the tape on his ankle. And if they can, there's a new hat style by Travis, your nephew. I think Sergio will probably come in after this play.
We've got 3rd down, 15 to go. Sergio Jimenez, I had a feeling that young man might come back into this game as Patrick Barnes drops back. He rolls to his right. He's got plenty of room. He's got Nathan Bates out there. He throws deep, intercepted by the Hawks. This should do it. Number 5, Mike Maceranka, the quarterback in the beginning of the year, makes a game-saving interception there. As with 50 seconds, the Hawks have a 7-point lead and maybe their first ever CIF championship in the bank.
Well, I want to tell you how neat that is, because that young man at the start of the season was the quarterback, Mike Maceranka. He suffered a broken collarbone, and Justin Vedder came on and took that position. Mike was put back on defense where he played so well last year. Maybe it's fitting that he makes the interception that perhaps wraps up this CIF championship.
He's exhausted with enthusiasm there as it's 1st down and 10 for the Hawks. Steve Bresnahan and the Laguna Hills Hawks.
That's going to be a delay of game, and you know what? They don't care.
And you can see the slow motion, Bill. Take a look at this great play.
Pat Barnes moves out of the pocket here, which buys him a little bit of time, and he does get some pressure coming up in his face right here from number 60, and has to lay it up in the middle of the field trying to throw to Cordell Graham. And there's Mike Maceranka with the interception that
boy, he did a great job of running the ball back up the field, and that's what I like to see, the switching hands of the ball, and Bates comes back and lays a hit on the other number 5, Mike Maceranka. Coach Steve Bresnahan is now on the field, and I talked to him, I said, Steve, I'd like to get you for Coach's Corner, and he goes, what, Paul? If we win? Well, we're going to win, and I'll be there.
I love it. You know, you can't say enough about both of these guys. Jim Barnett and his entire staff, what a job they've done. Boy, I tell you, they'll be back, because I've had people tell me that the best freshman team they've seen in years is over at Trabuco Hills this year. But Steve Bresnahan, Tim Miltenberger, Bruce Ingalls, Marty Spalding, boy, have they done a job.
Players of the game for the Hawks tonight, first and foremost is Dave Weber, then Justin Vedder, then I would say Sergio Jimenez. Maybe you just make one line and you put them all in that same line, as all of them are the players of the game for the CIF. And of course for Trabuco Hills, none other than Patrick Barnes. Jeff Clayton had a great game. And of course a little aggression there by Trabuco Hills. And 9 seconds, we'll let the pitchers tell the story, folks, as the Laguna Hills Hawks are the 1991 Division 7 CIF champions. fans come onto the field. The Mustangs come across the field to congratulate Coach Steve Bresnahan and his entire football team. And this was the play, Bill, that cinched it as we're looking at the final interception.
Paul, I've known Kathy Bresnahan, Steve's wife, since we were in college. And, you know, along with what goes on as a coach, just an aside here, if you're a coach's wife, you have to put up with some crazy hours and a lot of tough times and good times. You're a counselor for the kids. You have to organize the coaches' wives to do things and stuff, but it's a team, and I'm just thrilled for Steve and Kathy Bresnahan. What a great victory for the Laguna Hills High School, for Wayne McCallion.
Scott Spalding there. Marty Spalding, pardon me.
There's a man, I think, that is, you can tell how fired up he is, because...
and we've got a final score of 35-28, Division 7 CIF Championship game here at Missions District Stadium. You've seen it. It's the final. The first ever for the Laguna Hills Hawks. For our entire staff here with Dimension Sports and Athletes in Motion. For Director Todd Stars, our camera operators Gary Gresovic, Juan Cajigas, Sean Fairburn, Vince D'Amore on the slow motion operation, Bobby Stout on the Chiron, my brother Sean Higgins on the stats. You've all done a great job, and we're looking forward to bringing you the next game of the week, which will be Dana Hills and Irvine. That's next time on the game of the week. For Bill Cunity, I'm Paul Higgins saying so long. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.
Here at the